programs presented are submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM, The Boss, and affiliates.
It's the Real Estate U Show, where we take your typical real estate show and chuck it out the window. Motivating, inspiring, and educating with a laugh or two along the way. Every week we bring you the latest happenings in real estate, new construction, and mortgage lending for both residential and commercial. And now, live, this is Real Estate U.
Hey, good morning. It's the Real Estate U Show. I'm E.L. Crane of BRPS Title and the Real ELC. And as you know, I'm joined by Jennifer Nina of My Mortgage Inc. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
No volume for me, Carlos. How you doing?
Good, and you?
Whatever. That's how I'm doing. Whatever. Okay.
Happy Saturday.
Well, see, I've been working like a Hebrew slave all week. Okay, let's be real clear about that.
I've heard.
I'll explain that in a minute. This is the Real Estate U Show. Live streaming on the Global Live Network at reuworldwide.com. reuworldwide.com. 20 streaming channels and counting for our stations and studios in Texas and Florida. Our show brought to you by Platinum One Properties, a premier Texas real estate firm. My Mortgage Inc. with the lovely Jennifer Nina, our resident double threat, who is also a licensed real estate consultant in the state of Texas, Florida, outside of being a mortgage queen. You know, something like that. And if she can start doing her hair consistently one way, confusing me. Anyway, and also BRPS Title, our national title services provider, as well as Legendary Title in Florida. Okay, we're here each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, and 8 a.m. Pacific time. You can follow us on Instagram at real.estateu. That's the letter U, Estate U. And our podcasts are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google via at Radio The Boss 91.1 FM. As you know, I'm joined by my good friend, my partner in crime, my nemesis. She has two roles. She's my partner and she's my nemesis, okay? It all depends on what day of the week it is, all right? See, the old me would have said what day of the month it is, but the new me is what day...
Yes, very good.
I'm trying to change my evil ways here, okay? And later on the show, we'll be joined by our esteemed award-winning real estate broker, Dina Salazar, Platinum One Properties, and the legend in his own mind, our Texas real estate mortgage guru, Mac Blankenship of Guaranteed Rate. Now you can just read more about the amazing Platinum One Properties team at platinumoneproperties.com. So Jennifer, you know we got all this stuff going on today. Actually, we wish you were here. You was here last year when we had the fundraiser and stuff like now. But the whole thing is they done put your picture up on the border and they won't let you in. I understand what's going on. I tried to get the governor to go ahead and give you a one-day pass, and he said, "Oh hell no! You know how much hell she raised here last year? No, we can't have back up in here." So, I tried to help you. Okay.
Wow.
I tried to help you.
I had a blast though. It was an amazing event last year, so I'm sure it will be the same.
Yeah, actually, we've sold more tickets. We have more money. We,
Nice.
but this year's recipient is Sleeping Heavenly Peace, and providing bedding for families who can't afford to have bedding, or they're sharing beds or sleeping on the floor. I didn't know that was a thing. I had no idea that was a thing. You have a lot of families who are scrunching in beds together, especially when it's cold at night, or sleeping on cold floors.
Wow.
Yeah, there are so many people that are suffering, and they said the proliferation of need grew exponentially because of COVID, because people were losing where they were living at.
Wow.
So they had to bring in all these houses.
I can see that.
Yeah, and one of the things I found out, I didn't know you could put three bunk bed sets in one bedroom.
Oh yeah, I've seen
I'm
that.
not laughing, but I was like, what? You can put three sets of, that's how tight people, you know, and you have multi-generational
We need to
families.
take you out. We need to take you out of the country traveling so you can see really that.
No, I'm
things.
good. No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm totally good. All right. You know, 'cause
You're
see,
spoiled.
y'all trying to get me to understand other people's plight. I'm not, okay? I don't understand. All right, not trying to
Well,
understand.
you know, it's not about understanding. Maybe feeling grateful for what you have.
I am very grateful. Right.
Like, I don't have to go there.
Yeah, I don't need to go there and see how grateful I am. I'm very grateful, right? Like here, like my, I was talking to, I talked to three of my sisters this morning on the way in, right? And you know, as you know, my crazy brother is here. God help us all, okay? And God help me. I mean, he has epilepsy, okay? So he can't drive. So
Okay.
I'm his personal Uber driver, all right?
Oh boy.
Little brother, can you take
I'm
me
sure
here?
you're loving that.
Little brother, can you take me there? Okay, first of all, I love you, but I don't like you at all. Let's start right there. Okay, so no, I won't drive you everywhere. Then he had the temerity and the audacity to ask me the following question: hey, can you take a day off of work to take me shopping? Hell no. Is my answer clear? No. Hell no, I'm gonna take you shopping, stuff like that. So being that this is the Real Estate News Show on our Go Live Network, REUWorldwide.com. Our goal is to educate, inspire, motivate. And so class is now in session. So you looking kind of comfortable. Is that a sweatshirt like going running?
Yes, you like though.
Oh, so you just casual? Is it a casual Saturday?
Casual Saturday. Got a lot of things and errands to do. Boys wants to go to the movies, so let's see.
Tell your boys to get a job. That's
Okay.
my suggestion.
Seriously.
Yeah, get a job. You want to go to the movies? Get a job. All right. You want a hamburger? Get a job. What I eat?
I was in the supermarket with them the other day, and Christian was asking for something. Oh, you need to get a job. The lady next to me just started cracking up.
Yeah, no, yeah. Your expectations of my checkbook, they are not running parent. They're not running together yet. Okay, but you know what? You're gonna kick out of this, right? We're gonna do our thing. Yesterday, all right, we had all the gift bags delivered to my office, right? And so our sponsor, Alta Homes and Alta Development, Drew's fiance, they're getting married in October, right? So Lori brought the stuff over to the office, right? And so I helped take it out of the car and brought it in, stuff like that. And so I'm looking at all these boxes. And I just said, I just did more manual labor in 15 minutes than I've done in the last 15 months. Normally I had somebody do this kind of stuff for me. I'm lifting these boxes, and she said, they're not heavy. I said, but if I got to bend over, that's just too much.
Spoil, I tell you.
So she said, yeah, look, I can have it. You're missing the point, Lori. Okay, you're totally missing the point. I am not dressed to do manual labor. All right, I had my suit and my tie on. I'm trying to get out of there because I was on a mission to get to the fish market to get me some fish because I had a taste yesterday. I want to go get me some fish and shrimp, fry them, drown them in hot sauce and remoulade, and French fries with wheat bread, and just be happy and drink a beer and go to bed. Okay? And she interrupted my day by having me lift boxes. That's just too much. All that I think I got a pain in my back. Okay.
Yes, people, this is E.L. Crane, the real E.L. Crane.
I should have had her drop them off at the country club. Let them vote because they got people over there working to do that. They could have took all the stuff out of the car and everything.
There you go.
But see, no,
Now you know.
they bring them to me, and I looked at those boxes. It took me a minute to get myself together, but I looked at those.
He's like, so what do you want me to do with this?
I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? Are we supposed to drop them off? So, I'm supposed to take them out the car? I said, damn, that did too much. So what we gonna do, we're gonna take a break. Come back. We're going to talk all things real estate, new construction, the Florida market, the Texas market, and why I don't do manual labor. I'm E.L. Crane. She is not. This is the Real Estate U Show here each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 a.m. Pacific time. And forgive me, people, but I just don't do manual labor. That's just too much. Okay? Take a break. This hour brought to you by My Mortgage Inc. and BRPS Title.
Are you looking for the best mortgage loans available nationwide? Welcome to My Mortgage Inc., led by award-winning mortgage expert Jennifer Nina, with expertise in both Florida and Texas markets, and a national team for all your mortgage needs. Now you can borrow with confidence. Whether buying, selling, or investing in real estate, you deserve the very best mortgage solutions available, whether it's for new construction, luxury, or an investment property. As a long-time mortgage specialist, Jennifer has built her lender reputation on getting the deal done. And you want to know the best part? By working with Jennifer and My Mortgage Inc., you gain access to the REU RMG, an international invitation-only multimedia platform offering exclusive real estate buying and selling resources, business alliances, and so much more. Doesn't get better than that. My Mortgage Inc. We treat your mortgage like our mortgage. Find out more information at yourmortgagepro.biz today.
Hey everyone, my name is Kaylee Heenan with BRPS Title. If you're looking to grow your real estate business this year, BRPS Title is the perfect title partner for you. Give me a call today and ask about our concierge closings, our luxury showcases, and our custom lead generation program, as well as our most exclusive program, the Roundtable Mastermind Group. Give me a call at 832-603-2005.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Okay, we're back, and lovely Jennifer Nina is over there doing something she ain't got no business. Okay? That's what I'm going with. I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but you know, you're always like, okay, is she getting a drink? Or, you know, I don't know.
No, it's me now for something like that.
Okay. Now, just you sticking to it. Okay. Now, one of the things that has, rates went out a little bit this week.
Yes, they did.
Okay. Now, I talked to a lender, such as yourself, on yesterday morning, and he said something that was quite intriguing to me. And this is what he said. He says, refis are not dead, but they're on life support. Okay?
That is true.
But there has been an elevation in refinance cash outs for people to pay down debt because they're paying down debt out of fear. He says we're going to have a couple of bumps up, then we're going to have a huge drop down by the end of the year. What do you say?
I second that motion.
Okay, I just because everybody, rates going to keep going up and up and up, but then when you had here, you got it down. So you can't stop the momentum of the need for new construction.
Well, the other day I heard someone discussing, we need to increase interest rate to stop the inflation.
That's a crock of crap.
How? I mean, explain that to me, please.
Yeah, it don't make no sense.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, so it's a dynamic. It's manipulation of facts. Okay, it's a total because I was while I was off there, we was having a conversation about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and something, which I don't deal with anything like. If I can't pick it up and touch it, I'm not interested in it. Okay, that's just me. That's my own internal paranoia. This is why I don't do stocks, because having in my background, having worked on the New York Stock Exchange floor, I see how one person can walk in a room and throw the whole stock exchange off. It could be one rumor start in the pit, throw the whole stock exchange off. So All that means is the capacity to manipulate. That's all it means to me. That's why I've always...
And trust me when I tell you, they do exactly the same.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yep.
Give me something you can fold and put in my pocket, or something I can put in my pocket that make noise. Other than that, I'm not interested.
Cash is king.
That's right. Cash is still king. Now, see, but here was something that I didn't know on the mortgage side. I like to stay abreast of things because, this past week, I think I told you, I was teaching loan officers this week at the Motto Mortgage annual roundup, whatever they do it. All loan officers, getting their certification and their licenses renewed. And they had booths there from different lenders and stuff like that because Motto is a kind of a brokerage, and they have the wholesalers. So I was going down booth to booth, right? And nobody was saying anything different. Nobody was saying anything different.
As to what?
Non-QM, Govy loans, jumbo loans, so except one lender was doing something different. And he had the biggest booth and the biggest crowd. And you want to know what he was doing different?
What was that?
He was creating line of credit options for the brokers, i.e., as long as you're servicing, not only, as long as you are paying our rate, you can charge any rate you want to. I.e., if our rate to you is 2.5 and you only want to do 2.8 when everybody else is doing 3.5 or 4.5, that's on you. They were letting these brokers who can qualify set their own spread.
They do that
to beat the market. But the whole thing is, he was doing it, but you had another 11 or 12 lenders in this marketplace who aren't doing that, and they couldn't understand why everybody was going over there.
Well, right. So as a lender or as a broker, you have the capacity of, your compensation is going to be within the rate, right? And that can be lower or put up.
Right.
In the good times,
right.
You can leverage that, but now interest rates have gone up. So if you don't do that, you will stay definitely out of the market.
Right. I was kind of surprised by that because, years ago when I had my warehouse line of credit, basically my funding partner always said 1.5 minimum above our rate to you. Minimum. You can't go less than 1.5 above our rate. It can be more, but it can't be less than, the minimum is 1.5 above our rate. So I think now by what this particular company was doing, so back then I had 1.5, but I could have beat out so many other entities if I could have just went up 0.5 point just from a volume perspective. Like I tell you all the time, sometimes it's okay to be McDonald's. That's volume, all right? I don't need to be the steakhouse because everybody can't buy steak, but everybody can buy McDonald's.
That's right.
So as this market is continuing to fluctuate and change, what do you think is necessary from your side to bring a better value to the potential client?
Well, we as lenders, we're going to have to make concessions, right? And actually, I was having a conversation while I was training one of my new loan officers.
Right.
So we were going through the search, the pricing engine. And he was like open mouth where we were going through a scenario. The lady has a 702 score. She wants to buy a second home, and rates were 5.125, and she has to pay about $4,000 for that rate. So yes, and I told him I changed the loan from second home to investment to primary to FHA, and I told him, do you understand, FHA is always going to be your lesser of, no matter what the score is. It's just rates have gone up. So where before, you actually will get credits at a 5%, now you actually have to pay for that rate.
Right.
So it's now I have to have a meetings of the mind, because what happens is in situations like this, if you don't lower your margins, you will lose clients, right? Because you're going to be out of competition,
Right.
from others. So you have to make adjustments. But what that means, everybody has to make adjustments, because that means if Branch is making this and now it has to make this, I can't pay you that.
Right.
And our contracts are basically renewable every month.
Right.
So those are adjustments that we have to make.
And as like I said, I still know enough about the mortgage and the banking business to be dangerous. Okay, but the one thing that doesn't change is the need for creativity.
Correct.
That hasn't changed. Also, a situation now, finding and mining for business. When I was doing my training the other day with the agents, with the loan officers, I was being me, and I said, and one of my parts of my class I was teaching the other day was discrimination. All right, but I had a different view of discrimination. See, I said the sign up on the screen says racial, gender, sex, sexual orientation. I said, nah, that's not my discrimination over there. They said, well, what do you mean? Because it was an interactive class. They said, what do you mean? I had 200 people in the room, right? They said, so what do you mean? I said, I discriminate against short people. They said, what? Yeah, but you can't do that. I said, it's not up on the wall. It's not on the screen. So I can discriminate against short people all I want. All right. It don't say nothing about height. And I said, and they said, so I'm giving them the scenarios, right? I said, tell you what, those guys that come in and they have the comb over and they're trying to hide the fact they're going bald? And they said, yeah, I won't get them alone either. So I got the whole room, they just losing their mind up in there. So the owner of the company that I'm doing these classes for, mortgage educators and compliance, he's back there, he just dying laughing. He says, oh my God, this man is up here losing his mind. So then I said, let me tell you something else. You won't admit it, but I'm going to admit it for you. They said, what is that? I said, good looking people to the front of the line, ugly people to the back. You would rather give a good-looking person a loan versus an ugly person, and you'd rather give a good-looking person a loan even if they got bad credit. They just like you got an ugly person with perfect credit, you don't want to give them $1. But boy, if they good-looking, you try to find a way.
You're trying to find a way to do it.
You're trying to find a way to get them approved. So I got everybody in the room. So Dave, he's the owner of the company. He's back there. He just got his head on. He just over there. He just laughing. And then Andrew, the other instructor, because it's three of us, is me, Dave, and Andrew. So Andrew and Dave is back there sitting at each other. They looking at each other, and then they pointing at me. And Dave said, "Stop it. Just stop it." And so I said, "What? I'm telling the truth. All right." Raise your hand if you would rather give a good-looking person a loan versus an ugly person. So everybody, yeah. So they said, so I go into there are other aspects to discriminate, all right? They said, so now it's back like, how other ways can you discriminate? Them people with them little bitty people cars, them little safe cars, whatever they call them. He says, well, everybody can't get a big SUV. They assumed I had one. I said, well, they should. So I'm sitting there giving them all kind of new ways. I see now I have created an environment for you to legally discriminate against people.
See, things like this is what reminds people in a classroom, because they associate things.
Exactly.
And now that particular, they will remember, oh, he made jokes on this, and now I know that, you teach them the difference in. I like that.
So when I got through with my session, I went back there, and Dave says, you know what? I love what you're doing. I'm going to let you have your own classes because you don't need to share stage with nobody because coming behind you is just not safe. So Andrew, who was before me, then I came on, and then Andrew came on behind me, and then Dave came on. So Andrew was sandwiched between me and Dave because Dave is a fool too. So Andrew was sandwiched between Dave. So Andrew was trying to make funnies like me, and he was like, I don't know what I was thinking. Because I had said at one point, you have to have the capacity to tell a borrower the following. They says, what is that? Get out. They said this. Yes. If they wasting your mind, tell them to get out. You know, if they don't like the rate you gave them, get out. And they was like, so the next day when I went back, they said, you know what? I'm going to always remember, get out. So we're going to take a break. Pay some bills, going to come back and talk jumbo loans in Florida, jumbo loans in Texas, and we're going to see if Ms. Nina has went to court to get me my ROTC loan. Pay some bills, Carlos.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Nina with My Inc., and I am your mortgage pro. I'm originally from Dominican Republic. We speak also Spanish. I've been in the business for about 15 years. I am licensed currently in Florida and Texas. The company is licensed in about 28, 29 states. So I can honestly tell you that I serve all types of clients, from the blue collar to luxury homes. I mean, everybody is a client. There's no exceptions to the rule. If you do not qualify, we will help you qualify. My favorite part is having the client get the satisfaction of their first home and telling them that they're approved and giving them the keys for them to go in their home. That's the most satisfying part about my job. Once again, my name is Jennifer Nina with My Mortgage Pro. Call me now.
Have you found yourself thinking, I need to increase my real estate brand value, start overcoming those limiting beliefs, and truly grow my business? Well, I have some great news for you. The Real ELC offers elite real estate training for professionals just like you. Whether you're a new agent or a seasoned professional, you can gain access to the wisdom, tips, and insights of a team with decades of real estate, business development, and marketing experience. And you want to know the best part? By receiving training from the Real ELC, you'll become part of the RMG Collective National Real Estate Marketing Platform. Just visit therealelc.com to start growing your real estate business today.
Hi there, I'm Dina Salazar, broker and owner of Platinum One Properties. For the past 20 years, my passion for real estate and strong sense of integrity have been the driving force and key to making real estate dreams come true for our clients. With preferred lenders, builders, and title companies, we are able to provide service beyond your expectations. So if you're in the market to sell, buy, or lease, give us a call today. Platinum One Properties, exceeding expectations and creating the standard in real estate.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Hi, I'm Tish Sotelo of Globally Tish. I'm the host of the REU Lifestyle segment. Every Saturday, I will be sharing with you everything that's hot in real estate, food, fashion, fun, and travel. I will be going from different locations, showing you where our RMG collectives have listings. I will be going from place to place, showing you what's hot in real estate, where the best places to eat, the best places to shop, as well as kind of just what's going on in our city. I love everything lifestyle, and I want to share everything that's so exciting about this city, other cities in the surrounding areas, as well as nationwide, and sometimes internationally. I'm so excited to share all of this hot, new, yummy stuff with you. Join me every Saturday on the REU Lifestyle segment.
We're coming back, bills are paid, and she's over there doing whatever the hell she's doing. Okay. So let's talk jumbo loans in Florida. Okay. Your capacity is up to what loan amount, jumbo?
So jumbo in-house, we can do up to 1.2 million.
And basically brokered out, how much?
Brokered out, I can do up to 10 million.
Okay, so here we have a $4.5 million loan. Okay, that's what it's going to take to buy this particular property, because you know you're licensed in both Texas and Florida. So we have a $4.5 million loan. What's the structure of that loan?
So you have a choice of doing one loan.
Okay.
For that amount, it's usually going to be, depending on the credit score, it can be 15 to 20% down.
Okay.
Borrower will have to show tax returns, income documentation.
Okay.
They will have to have reserves and, cash in the bank. So it's not like it's going to be stated or none of that. And those loans, if the borrower is self-employed, they tend to be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Less loose. So now DTIs are going to be capped probably at 43, 45%.
Okay. So basically, when you're talking about a jumbo loan of that magnitude, you're talking about $800,000 down.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking how many months worth of reserves?
6 to 12.
6 to 12 months worth of reserves.
And that will vary per lender, yes.
Okay. Basically, full doc tax returns, DNA, the whole shoot match.
Yep.
Right. So, but when you're self-employed, your goal is to diminish your tax liability. So how do you offset that?
Repeat that question one more time.
Most people, when you're self-employed, you're looking to not pay Uncle Sam anything. So you're writing off literally everything. So how do you combat that when you have a person who has the financial capacity?
So you basically, most of those people, so it depends on how you incorporate, right? You can pay yourself a K-1, you can be an LLC through a S corporation. And you know what? You are going to have to pay the taxes. If you make that money in order to qualify, it's inevitable. Inevitable.
That word. She has her own language, people. I'm just saying.
So yes, it is what it is when it comes to certain things. That's why guidelines are made in place. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
I have a borrower. She's buying a fourplex.
Right.
So I don't do those a lot.
Right.
And in going into it, FHA has a rule that if you're staying in one of the units, you can buy that at 3.5% down.
Okay.
Now, and I've been in the business for a very long time, but FHA, I don't know if this is something new or it's a stricter guideline now that they have implemented that any property 3 or 4 units now has to go through this self-stability test. And if it doesn't pass, then you cannot buy.
Wow.
And it has to be with the rent schedules. Now, what the appraisal says is what wins. So in this particular situation, I have a lease agreement that they've been paying over more than 50% of what the rent schedule says.
Right.
So I'm trying to find a way or a loophole in the guideline to, hey, I can prove you that these people have been paying this much. And I can also prove you that we have an intent to lease for a corporate lease for $2,500 a month. They're only giving them $700. So these are things that, we have to, per lender, per guideline, we have to be aware in certain situations in order for us to be creative. Well, we cannot fit it here. Can we fit it here?
Right. So, so in guidelines are like compliance, all right?
Correct.
Okay. Complying with this.
We'll lend you money if.
Exactly. We'll lend you money if, and you have to do this. And if you don't do this, we're not going to lend you money. Correct. But I've always, of course, my history is back in, I'm an 80s banker. That's the best description I can give you of me. So my thought processes are 80s banking, okay? And my mentor in banking, before I became a bank owner myself, he always had a very simple philosophy. If the deal is going to make me money, do the deal. That philosophy has kind of gone away. It's, if you can supply this paperwork, we can do the deal. All right? So don't you feel like that's kind of restraining you from being more
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but again, I have also an understanding that if we don't put regulation into place, we can head for disaster. Not everybody is responsible in borrowing or in lending.
That's
so,
true.
we have to, unfortunately, yes, I wish there's people that say they don't deserve this. And sometimes you see it, you make judgments. You can tell through a person's bank statement
Right.
how they live their life.
Yes, definitely.
You can see it, and you can see the responsibility or not.
Yeah, see on my bank
And
statement.
it's either two things.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's
No problem.
either two things. Either they are going through financial stress,
Right.
or they're just plain unresponsible.
Let's see,
It's
that's what I
two-
was going to say just then. Financial stress is in the eyes of the beholder, don't you think?
Well, no necessarily, because listen, it's not in the eyes of the beholder. If you are handling your finances in a certain way,
Right.
where you're incurring, say, NSF fees, two
Okay.
things are either
Right.
you lack funds and you're struggling,
Right.
or you're responsible. Who will do that?
Well, but I'm looking at it this way. You eat out too much. Your cost of living is increased because you eat out on a regular basis, and you're spending $2,000 a month on eating out instead of cooking at home, so to speak. Okay.
You have control over that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have control. So that's why I say in the eyes of the beholder. So basically, don't judge me. Tell me, hey, you need to cut back on eating out by about $1,500, and then you can buy the home you want to buy. That's what I say by the eyes of the beholder.
Well, that is, I think it's a more of a loan officer's job.
Okay.
That is not more of a lender job.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so yes, as a salesperson, I want to make the deal done.
Right.
That's how I get business. So instead of shutting you down, I am going to tell you what you need to do.
Right.
It's just, okay, you don't qualify, but why don't you qualify?
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't do. They don't tell you the why.
Right. So
And
that
they're just,
you educate them. You educate them on the why not.
correct.
And that's kind of funny you brought that up, because one of the things that we were doing in the classes the other day, I didn't do it, it was one of the other instructors. He asked the following question: do you ask your clients why? Why this house? Why you spent that money? Why is your credit score this low when it should be this high? Why don't you have more money in the bank? Most loan officers, most loan brokers don't ask why. And
Because
that's
they're
why
hard
they
questions.
say it again.
They are hard questions.
Okay.
It's an uncomfortable conversation
Right.
to the borrower, especially when there's bad credit.
Right.
And there is also an uncomfortable situation because you don't want to offend. And it's just getting past that. You have to get past that, because this is the reality. Mr. Customer, this is what you bring me. What do you want me to do with this?
Right.
Okay, no offense to you. And you have to kind of, at that point, remove that stigma and say, listen, I'm a human too.
Right.
Most of us, either we do it out of ignorance or because we went through an event.
Right.
And when you do that, then the person, it doesn't cringe like you're judging me. And that's, it's a very a sensitive conversation.
Yeah, it's touchy. It is touchy. It is touchy.
But when you do that, you will have the client.
Right.
And you will understand the client.
Because me, I don't know if you know, I'm a little difficult to deal with, and I didn't know if you was aware of that. People have been telling me this for years, but
Not at all.
yeah,
Said that.
I don't know. And I don't agree with the assessment of me being difficult at all. Okay, but what I have learned in the last year is my capacity to take advice has actually improved. And because my capacity to take advice, financial advice, has improved my financial picture and my financial position, because I've been shown and taught things in the last year, had no clue. No clue. So now I literally stalk everything about my finances now. Credit. Okay, no, I can't do that. Before it was like the wild, wild west. But when you have people come into your life to be stern with you, educate you, and show you the way, it'll get you across the finish line into home ownership, loan approvals, and securing a better life for you and your family. So that's what I personally learned about myself, because I was really, really cavalier. Because when you have the capacity to go cash and carry, you just whatever. I don't give a damn. Let me go buy this over here, and I'm done. But now you see the need for financial literacy. So we're going to take a break on that note. Come back with Miss Jennifer Nina of My Mortgage Inc. I'm E.L. Crane. She is not, because she don't fix her hair as well as I do. So take a break and pay some bills, Carlos.
Are you looking for the best mortgage loans available nationwide? Welcome to My Mortgage Inc., led by award-winning mortgage expert Jennifer Nina, with expertise in both Florida and Texas markets, and a national team for all your mortgage needs. Now you borrow with confidence. Whether buying, selling, or investing in real estate, you deserve the very best mortgage solutions available, whether it's for new construction, luxury, or an investment property. As a long-time mortgage specialist, Jennifer has built her lender reputation on getting the deal done. And you want to know the best part? By working with Jennifer and My Mortgage Inc., you gain access to the REU RMG, an international invitation-only multimedia platform offering exclusive real estate buying and selling resources, business alliances, and so much more. Doesn't get better than that. My Mortgage Inc. We treat your mortgage like our mortgage. Find out more information at yourmortgagepro.biz today.
Hi, I'm Tish Sotelo of Globally Tish. I'm the host of the REU Lifestyle segment. Every Saturday, I will be sharing with you everything that's hot in real estate, food, fashion, fun, and travel. I will be going from different locations, showing you where our RMG collectives have listings. I will be going from place to place, showing you what's hot in real estate, where the best places to eat, the best places to shop, as kind of just what's going on in our city. I love everything lifestyle, and I want to share everything that's so exciting about this city, other cities in the surrounding areas, as well as nationwide, and sometimes internationally. I'm so excited to share all of this hot, new, yummy stuff with you. Join me every Saturday on the REU Lifestyle segment.
Osborne Advisors, the official commercial mortgage company for the Real Estate You Show, Saturdays 11 a.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Central on the Global Live Network, www.ruworldwide.com. For all your commercial real estate mortgage needs, go to www.ruloan.com for commercial real estate and business loans nationwide. 800-460-9165. That's 800-460-9165.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Bills paid. Where that woman at?
Right here.
Okay. Now, in a little while, we're going to have trespasses up in here.
Yes.
That'd be Mac Blankenship of Guaranteed Rate and Dina Salazar, our award-winning broker-owner of Platinum One Properties. So, now, in new construction, I've been researching the new construction and your builders associations down there. I have one word for your builders associations: suck. They're horrible. Okay,
Yes.
they have absolutely nothing going on. There's no consensus building. There's no together. They are horrible.
That's
That-
the most. Let me tell you, I wasted money when I joined that because it's totally useless.
It's a useless. And you're right, because when I joined, I was like, "What? That's it?" Because the nationals dictate your market, whereas here, the local independents, they don't sell as much as the nationals, but they dictate the market. And it's just like I tell the realtors all the time: you got to take the wheel back. Quit letting anybody else drive. Because as I'm researching that market down there, disgusting is a word for the builder community. It's disgusting. And it's not even about unity. It's just about access.
There's no, listen, it's to the few. I got the opportunity to attend. The cities have like meetings where
Right.
the meetings of the mind. There were 3 cats, and they've been in the business of the building industry for over 20 years. So they are the ones that govern the market,
Right.
and they know everybody. It's really disgusting.
Yeah.
There is no opportunity for other
That's the word.
people.
There's no opportunity,
None.
and the independents are swallowed up by the
Yeah.
nationals there, because the nationals have the deep pockets to buy up what is available.
That's right.
Which is why you have to go so far out of the South Florida market up into Central Florida if you truly want to be a profitable, prosperous builder.
You got it, buddy.
I was
And
like,
people, even with the lending part and the work ethic. Listen, I've been to both places,
Right.
and I worked in both places, so there's different. Your agents in Texas are different from the agents here.
oh God, yes.
Their mentality, even the photos. I have an investor, and he's looking in both places, and he goes, Jennifer, what the hell? I mean, they'll take photos with a phone.
Yeah.
There's no.
There's no investment.
Right.
There's no investment.
You've seen the events.
Yeah.
I've taken you to several. So
Exactly. It's a totally different animal.
if you
And
go to an event with a realtor, it turns out it's always in a bar. So there's really no.
there's no connectivity, there's no networking, there's no business building. It's all about, she who shall remain nameless. Basically, I never agreed with her positioning, but now that I've seen it,
Now you understand.
I now understand it. But it doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for me.
It
either.
doesn't work
And
for me.
That's why I stayed out of that. And
Yeah.
it's for a new person to come in. I don't want to waste my time if I don't have to in a place where I can do that in my house. I have children. You know,
Yes.
so if I am not going to have a purpose, I'm just not there to say, look at me. I'm not that.
No, and it is really alarming. But we're doing some things together down there to try to upset the marketplace, to do some things differently. So, and we'll continue to take that hammer to that wall, try to break through. But it is just amazing to me that you have such a lack of collaboration, such a lack of participation, and nobody wants to upset the status quo. Everybody down there is about how many agents they have, not how many producing agents they have.
There you go. So I go and I had a conversation with a broker. Oh, we have 300, and how many of those are producing?
Thank you.
About
And
20.
they're
Oh,
not
why
doing
don't you
anything to
change
help them
that?
produce. They're not doing anything to help them produce.
Nope.
Which is
not
why
at all.
when we had the conversation about educating and training, that's why, after the fundraiser tonight, I am totally zeroed in on finishing up the luxury realtor training platform and the curriculum, because it is utterly ridiculous what is missing. The marketplace, and this now this is nationwide. The marketplace is, we'll get you a luxury designation, but you're not showing them how to develop luxury business. We'll get you a veterans designation, but you're not helping them how to develop veteran business. Oh, we have a 100% financing program for doctors and first responders, but you're not showing them how to cultivate relationships with doctors and first responders. And that's what I'm going to be doing with the Real ELC and the Dual Speaks and working with My Mortgage Inc. and working with Crazy Man over here, guaranteed rate, because at the end of the day, it is our responsibility to educate loan officers, real estate agents, insurance people, financial planners, wealth managers, because if we don't educate them, we are going to actually fall back into that trap of, oh, you're breathing, give them a house.
Exactly.
And we just can't afford to do that, because I'm telling you, some of these conversations I'm having with these people, they are alarming in what they don't know. They don't know. And people ask me, yeah, you're teaching loan officers now? I said, yeah, I'm going to have a loan officers RMG program. Why would you do that? Get out. Okay? I'm in the title business. I'm in the cultivating relationship business via title, realtors, loan officers, builders. Anybody who can be a producer of title insurance is a prospective client. Just like anybody who's interested in buying a home is a prospective client for you. Anybody who's looking to buy or sell a home is a prospective client for Dina. People need to understand, once you get to the education component, that takes care of everything else. But you got to get to the education component.
That's right. People don't understand that education is, they don't understand the power it has. Once you have it, nobody can take it away from you, and you can go to anywhere and it will be with you.
Exactly. Because it was so funny, because a lot of people that I know, they're still in the mortgage and lending business. They were in the licensing classes, in the class I was teaching when I was acting up just a little bit. Okay. They was like, he's still at it. He's still at it. Because this one couple I know, I've known for years, we're not close, but we know each other, right? And I was talking to the wife, she was in the class, right? And I was messing with her and stuff like that. And I said, you that person. And she says, what? I said, you that person I give a loan to, because see, you good looking. All right? And she just started laughing. I said, but there's some ugly people that I've been seeing floating around this building. I wouldn't give them $1. So so the whole thing was, this is what it came down to. When I realized it was her, because her husband, he remembered me and stuff like that, and we were talking, and she says, oh yeah, he saw your business card and my stuff, and he just said, he is insane. But a good insane, because his insanity is based upon his truth, and his truth is what he's going to give you. He's only going to give you the truth. He's going to make light of things. Like one guy said something to me in the crowd, because I was talking about short people. Said, I'm short. And he said something. I said, see, for people like you, you know what I say? Slip and fall. So everybody in the so Dave, the owner, he said, did he just tell that man to slip and fall? Well, yes, he did. I told the whole group, when did honesty become a bad thing? Honesty should not be a bad thing. The truth is not a bad thing. And that's the same thing in the lending business. Like you got to look these people in the eye and tell them, I'm sorry. What you've been doing, think about it. I did. I was doing it until over the last year, somebody called me out on my crap, who I love them dearly for. You need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And you need to cut this check for A, B, C, D, E, F, G so we can get you back on the right track. There is not a living, breathing soul could have told me that 2 years ago. Now, the person...
I think that's sometimes, we want to be so diplomatic with people and we don't want to hurt their feelings. Well, I guess I will, somebody's here in this world for something. I'm here to tell you how it is.
Yeah. Well,
whether you like it or not.
I can tell you that this person didn't spare my feelings at all. Let's go real clear. He didn't spare my feelings.
Sometimes you have to do that. It's like shaking somebody.
Yes.
Come on. And it's not even like scolding. It's putting things in perspective.
I was shaken out of my financial complacency. I've always been, well, I got the money. What the hell? I'll just go buy it. The rest of it be damn. Or I was like, well, whatever. I was really, really whatever about my financials. Whatever. All right. What you gonna do? Put me in jail? That That would literally be my attitude. What, you gonna put me in jail because I want to pay cash for something? You want to put me in jail because I want to talk trash to you because I got cash? You know, but that was not financially sound living. That's what I've learned over the last year. My financial well-being, blessed to be sure, but it was not one that was going to caretake me. It was going to cause me more pain in the long run than I ever even visualized. And that's what you have to do with your truth. I have to do my truth. We got to look these people in the eye and say, let me explain something to you, buddy or budette, okay? You can't continue to do this way if you want to have the things you want to have. And that's what I personally learned. So there you go. Even somebody who is flexible and as understanding as I am can learn a lesson. What you laughing for?
He can do it, people. Everybody can do it.
There you go. So, you know, because, you know, my sweetness is everybody's weakness, okay? So we're going to take a break, come back, and when we come back, we'll have Mac and Dina. And I don't know if Tish coming in for lifestyle because, you know, she's going to be at the event tonight because, you know, she need a whole day to prepare. Take a break.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Nina with My Mortgage Inc., and I am your mortgage pro. I'm originally from Dominican Republic. We speak also Spanish. I've been in the business for about 15 years. I am licensed currently in Florida and Texas. The company is licensed in about 28, 29 states. So I can honestly tell you that I serve all types of clients, from the blue collar to luxury homes. I mean, everybody is a client. There's no exceptions to the rule. If you don't qualify, we will help you qualify. My favorite part is having the clients get the satisfaction of their first home and telling them that they're approved and giving them the keys for them to go in their home. That's the most satisfying part about my job. Once again, my name is Jennifer Nina with My Mortgage Pro. Call me now.
Let me ask you something. Are you a real estate professional seeking to grow your business and add greater value to your career? RMG The Collective is the process that develops new and seasoned brokers and owners. Have you tried figuring out the best ways to market yourself but just haven't been able to break through yet? You're not alone, but I have good news. RMG The Collective offers training programs to help you master the luxury real estate market, grow your income, boost brand awareness, and develop a truly unique brand to help you stand out from the rest. This unparalleled program is endorsed by top luxury brokers and agents nationwide, with 93% of participating agents increasing their income by at least 41%. And you want to know the best part? You can be a member of RMG Collective no matter where you're located. With agents located all over the U.S., you'll be a part of a strong, supportive community, have constant access to RMG's online proprietary program, work one-on-one with your mentor, receive customized feedback on your marketing and business, and finally, watch your luxury real estate take off. Get ready to spend your day helping others achieve their dreams while you achieve yours. RMG The Collective, growth in partnership. Call or email to get started today.
Hey everyone, my name is Kaylee Heenan with BRPS Title. If you're looking to grow your real estate business this year, BRPS Title is the perfect title partner for you. Give me a call today and ask about our concierge closings, our luxury showcases, and our custom lead generation program, as well as our most exclusive program, the Roundtable Mastermind Group. Give me a call at 832-603-2005.
Hi there, I'm Dina Salazar, broker and owner of Platinum One Properties. For the past 20 years, my passion for real estate and strong sense of integrity have been the driving force and key to making real estate dreams come true for our clients. With preferred lenders, builders, and title companies, we are able to provide service beyond your expectations. So if you're in the market to sell, buy, or lease, give us a call today. Platinum One Properties, exceeding expectations and creating the standard in real estate.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Let me ask you something. Have you been thinking to yourself that it's time to start playing in the real estate big leagues? Welcome to the Real Estate U Show, a weekly nationally syndicated multimedia show designed to empower both buyers and real estate industry professionals by providing tips, insights, and inspiration for all things buying, selling, and investing in real estate. Featuring a team of real estate experts, financial and new construction professionals, and weekly guest entrepreneurs, this fun and entertaining show breaks down all the complex news happening in real estate nationally. And you want to know the best part? Through the Real Estate U Show multimedia platform, you can gain access to the RMG Collective, an exclusive invitation-only real estate professionals group. Doesn't get better than that. Catch the Real Estate U Show weekly at REUworldwide.com Saturdays Eastern, 10 Central.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Okay, we're back, and I'm joined in the studio by Mac Blankenship of Guaranteed Rate. See how easy and pliable and nice I was? And then I have...
What did he just call me? What did he just say? Did he?
Mac Blankenship.
Oh.
What do you thought of?
You said Flyboy?
Pliable.
Pliable.
I'm
pliable.
Pliable.
Okay.
And then the lovely and vivacious Purple Rain, Dina Ramos Salazar.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning,
Hi.
guys.
And then we got that other person in Florida.
That would
How's
be.
it going,
Hey, Jan, how are you?
Jennifer?
Good, how are you?
How's
Has
the
he been
weather
harassing
over
you?
there?
No, please don't ask her
I
that.
always want to know.
You know he is harassing me.
Oh, poor Jennifer.
But weather is good, guys. You guys need to know.
Oh.
No, we don't, damn it. I'm
Well,
good.
our weather's pretty good today, though.
Yeah, it's pretty good
But
today.
well, you got to kind of carry allergy medicine around with you.
But our weather's on drugs. That's the difference.
That's a nice way to put it.
As you see, we have Mac Blankenship of Guaranteed Rate. And we have no City of the Weeks.
What?
No City of the Week, because this is all about sleep in heavenly peace and our fundraiser tonight.
Okay, cool. We can do that.
We can do that, you know. So, because you didn't know.
I didn't know.
You want to know why Jennifer can't come?
Why?
The governor has her picture posted on all border crossings coming in across, and she can't come in. They said she had too much damn fun last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, she.
And I missed last year.
Yeah, you missed last year.
Oh, my goodness.
So Mac's going to take your place this year.
No. Depends upon.
Yeah. So basically, so she can't come tonight because she said somehow she had children.
Well, that's important.
Well, you know,
a
little hamburger helper and pass out the
There
cell
you
phones,
go.
man, and you're all good.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
They will never know you're missing.
They'll never know you're gone, right?
Never know. They never know.
Or you know what? You don't even have to do hamburger helper anymore today. You could just order up Grubhub for them.
Yes.
And put it on a schedule, and it just shows up at the door. And you be, come on, Jen. Come on.
And then everybody got them damn cameras and stuff, so you know what they doing.
Yes.
So
you feeling that, right?
Hey,
are you feeling guilty yet?
There you go. So head on to the airport. We'll see you tonight.
Yep, we'll see you tonight.
We'll see you tonight. So no, but tonight we're gonna have a big crowd tonight, and people are still buying tickets this morning.
Good.
It's gonna be the hors d'oeuvres and the this and the that and raising money for Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Some Latin dancing.
No. Networking. We got DJs. We have butlers passing food and drinks. My favorite part of the night. Then we have buffets. Then we got cigars.
Do we have crab cakes?
I didn't sit in for cigars last time.
They got cigars, you go, because a portion, but no, you don't have to smoke them, but a portion of the proceeds from the cigars and the bourbon and the whiskey goes to Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Oh.
So
I remember that. They had it like towards the back.
Yeah,
exactly.
the guys were going back there.
Exactly. So now, we're
I don't do cigars and bourbon, no. I grew up with
just buy them.
Beer and Marlboros.
Give them to somebody else. Just buy them and give them to somebody else.
Buy them and give them to him.
Yeah,
Okay,
buy them and give them to somebody else. No, I don't do cigars either. I do the bourbon, damn it, but I ain't gonna do the cigar. But see, the whole thing is, it's all about, and even the country club is giving a portion of the sales of all alcohol.
Are they?
To Sleep in
Wow,
Heaven.
that's
Yes.
great.
Yes, so
Okay.
we got all that stuff there. It was so funny yesterday. I don't know who they thought I was yesterday at the office, but I kept getting phone calls.
Did they mistake you for someone else?
Yeah.
Did they?
The vendors, all the
Okay.
vendors for tonight's event was coming over looking for checks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you're the wrong person for that. You cash checks. You don't write checks.
No, but see, RMG got an account, so I kept going upstairs getting new checks.
Oh my goodness.
See, I don't have a check. You know, I could have it, but no, I want that would mean bookkeeping. I don't do bookkeeping, so I just go up there and get
That's
what I
probably
need.
a good thing.
No, it's totally a good thing.
Totally a good
because I don't look good in orange. Because my bookkeeping would probably put me in jail.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine what that would
So
be
I kept
like.
going upstairs. So the lady in the bank, she said, "Mr. Crane." I said, "What?" She said, "You've been up here 4 times, and it could be 2 more." I'm just saying, you know, because everybody.
And you
kept
look
coming-
wore out.
Yeah, yeah, you know, like what the hell, you know? And I was like, I'm writing these checks or I'm ordering these checks like this money mine. It's not. This is sponsor money, and this is money that goes to the country club to pay for all the food and alcohol and da 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 da.
And for a great cause.
Yeah, really, really great call. Because I did not know that you had that many families suffering by sharing beds or not having beds to sleep in, sleeping on the floor. It's an amazing thing. I just didn't know that.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about housing and how unaffordable
Yes.
housing is today, right? But then you know, people clearly have a roof over their head, but what does that look like? And
Exactly.
I don't think that we have the, you know, that we don't properly put that into perspective for people that are unfortunately less fortunate than us and in our families.
We you know, because that person right there with the hoodie thing on, she chastised me because she says I take life for granted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Take life for granted. It's not my fault they sleeping on the floor.
He should visit out of country more often so he can see how grateful he should be for the lifestyle that he lives.
I visit out of the country all the time. I go from Cypress to Houston every day.
Well, there's no better way to feel gratitude than to volunteer.
Yes.
For any cause.
No. I'll give money. I'm not volunteering.
I'm saying when you see stuff firsthand, it opens your eyes.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And, you know, but when they brought this particular charity to the table, I was just floored by people not having somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
I really was. I was just, how do you not have it? If you have a house, don't you have somewhere to sleep? But not necessarily. You have people crowded, families, whole families sleeping in beds together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so this is why.
I never even knew they had such a.
Exactly. So what you do is you donate monies, and they have volunteers that build bunk beds for the children.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Really?
Yes, they build.
You know,
yeah.
Because I grew up in a trailer park, right?
Yeah.
Y'all knew that, right?
Yeah.
Make no
it's-
mistake about that.
I think it's a fraud, but anyway, go ahead with your story.
No, trust me, right? And barefooted in a trailer park, right? But
Right.
hey, you know, we were growing up and there was 2 bedrooms, 3 kids. I mean, mom and dad slept on this
Definite-
end of
Yeah,
all
definitely.
the kids slept over
Yeah.
here and all in the same bedroom. It's just the way it was.
But you know,
Yeah.
because
It was normal. We didn't see
yeah,
anything.
normal.
Yeah, it was
But
normal.
you know, my younger brother said something one time, and it just tickled me. He says, "We didn't know we didn't have anything."
That's right. We didn't know
We didn't
the
know.
difference, right?
And but see, people think because my mom and my dad and my stepmom and stepdad had businesses, that don't mean you have money.
That's right.
That's not what that means. That means you working harder
All
than
the time.
working for somebody else.
That's right.
Exactly.
They don't understand that. So when you are a child, you don't know what you don't have, because if you have shelter and you're eating every night and you can climb into bed and da 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 da, and
You're good.
yeah, because
Happy, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you don't
you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Because but then
You
you,
just don't know.
when you're a kid, you compare yourself, because there was a family there. I don't know if you guys have you ever seen a house tinted where they had to fumigate it and
Yes.
we had no idea that this family was living in infestation. Fleas, roaches, and rats.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
We had no idea they were living in infestation because the outside doesn't know what's going on in the inside.
That's
right.
right.
That's right. And I can tell you, growing up in not Louisiana, but actually in Florida, you know, I remember being in some houses where it was just like, you know, you couldn't actually believe people that really lived there.
Yeah.
Right. Just
Yeah.
and it was, you know, just happened to be, you know, acquaintances of, you know, my extended family. I was a kid, right? But I can still, it made that kind of an impression on a 5-6-year-old where you're just like, you're just shocked, right?
Yeah,
you're just
You know, my answer to that is, guys, Clorox is 99 cents a bottle, so we don't have to be
See,
like that.
you know, I love that practicality of that statement.
Does it come in a spray bottle?
Yeah. You know, actually, I prefer the wipes, to be honest with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think that's the best invention.
I got the spray
yeah.
bottle, the original Clorox, and the Clorox foam. I got all of that.
Yeah.
I got all that. Yeah. But like I said, that family in we had no idea because they went to school with us every day. They seem to be dressed, you know, appropriately and stuff like that. But you just never know how people are suffering. So we're going to take a break, come back and talk about more about Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Mac is going to go over new Fannie Mae guidelines that he wrote up last week.
I wrote them up.
He wrote them up. He wrote them up himself.
Yeah.
You know,
Made them up just for the show because I knew we were going to sit here a week.
There you go.
Me and Fannie.
Him and Fannie. Yeah, I ain't never.
But I don't hang out with Freddie. Yeah. I prefer to hang out with...
I'm a Freddie fan myself.
I'm a Fannie man.
Because Freddie can hold his liquor. Fannie cannot hold her liquor. Take a break, face the bills, Carla.
That look bad.
This house is brought to you by Platinum One Properties and #MortgageMac.
Are you looking for the best mortgage loans available nationwide? Welcome to My Mortgage Inc. Led by award-winning mortgage expert Jennifer Nina, expertise in both Florida and Texas market, and a national team for all your mortgage needs. Now you can borrow with confidence. Whether buying, selling, or investing in real estate, you deserve the very best mortgage solutions available, whether it's for new construction, luxury, or an investment property. As a long-time mortgage specialist, Jennifer has built her lender reputation on getting the deal done. And you want to know the best part? By working with Jennifer and My Mortgage Inc., you gain access to the REU RMG, an international invitation-only multimedia platform offering exclusive real estate buying and selling resources, business alliances, and so much more. Doesn't get better than that. My Mortgage Inc. We treat your mortgage like our mortgage. Find out more information at yourmortgagepro.biz today.
Hey everyone, my name is Kaylee Heenan with BRPS Title. If you're looking to be a real estate business this year, BRPS Title is the perfect title partner for you. Call today and ask about our concierge closings, our luxury showcases, and our custom lead generation program, as well as our most exclusive program, the Roundtable Mastermind Group. Give me a call at 832-603-2005.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Okay, bills are paid. Jennifer's here. Dina's here. That fella over there is here. Ugh.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah.
The fella over there.
That fella. That fella.
Okay. I warned y'all, though, about my caffeine intoxication.
Yes, because basically, Mac decided this morning he wanted not only 3 cans of caffeine, he wanted a caffeine shot and a caffeine gum. Yeah. So he got all this stuff going on.
Don't forget the IV.
There.
Remember the
IV?
Yeah.
Got the caffeine IV.
Yeah.
So he cannot be held responsible for the stuff that's going to come out of his mouth.
Exactly.
Exactly. He's out of control, in other words.
Totally out of control.
Totally out of control.
Everybody needs to learn how to be calm and understanding like myself. Okay.
So this one gets his mimosas on or something during breakfast. This one gets his caffeine on. And between the two of them, I'm going to tell you, I don't even know. I don't know what to do.
I don't know how you make it.
We are what you would describe as misunderstood men. There we go. So, Mr. Blankenship.
Si, senor.
You are bringing forth a new program, or actually Fannie Mae is bringing forth a new program, and you said guaranteed rate is getting ready to make it a standard operating procedures?
Yeah, we're going to be implementing, Fannie is allowing for the average of the two middle scores.
Yes.
When making the determination for a U.S. qualification, right? So historically what we've always done is use the lesser of the two.
Yes.
Right?
Punishing the people.
Which can quickly give you a situation where, if the other person doesn't have a score that qualifies but you need their income, then you're at a dead end, potentially at a dead end. But if you can average those two scores and the average is equal to, clearly, and or above the minimum requirement, then now we have a potential transaction that might get approved and we can help buy a home.
Right.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is now, Fannie, she's scandalous.
Fannie.
She's scandalous.
Don't be talking about Fannie with me.
Fannie been scandalous for years. And
that's my girl. What are you talking about, Fannie?
Now,
for?
see, Freddie has always been more flexible.
I don't
than
hang
Fannie.
out with guys. Me and Freddie don't. We just don't do that.
But see, Fannie won't pick up the tab. Freddie will. So.
No, I pick up the tab for Fannie. That's
exactly what I said.
You
Fannie
just
gonna pick up the tab.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so now is Freddie going to do a average score thing too? You think?
I've heard rumor that and I think what it was is just a maybe confusion. But at this point, I do not know that Freddie has adopted it or is going to. I'm clearly I don't think they've adopted it.
Right.
But typically they have a tendency to follow suit either right after Fannie adopts a specific guideline.
Right.
But I heard you mention that you heard that Freddie was doing it, and what I did is I kind of dove into that with my underwriting department, and they clearly said no, it's Fannie that's taking the average of the two middle scores.
And no, what I was saying was Freddie, like Fannie wants the 2 years history, self-employed. Freddie would do the one. That's what I was talking about.
So they'll both do the one, right? Like I have one just recently where they went to the builder, and the builder's like, well, you don't qualify for this because...
Are you talking about self-employed borrower?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now check it out, right? So
Okay.
to check it out. So I'm like, well, just apply and let's look at it. And they're putting a lot of money down. But, some people just have this, hey, we're not going to go outside of the traditional box,
Right.
which is 2 years W-2s, 2 years tax returns, 2 months bank statements, and 2, 2, 2, and 2.
Right.
Well, sometimes if you put enough money down, your credit score is high enough, it's 1, 1, 1, 1.
But what if you have 2 ex-wives?
Then you're out.
Then I think it's a fair. I think it's a fair assessment that your middle score is probably low,
right?
And you're probably going to be an 0-3 on your next marriage.
Well, I'm already 0-3. I can't get no more 0-3 than I already am.
Told you. Told ya.
Hey, so do I get the lesser of 2? Do I get the middle score to 3 ex-wives?
I knew he was going to take this somewhere where nobody could ever imagine it had been taken.
I'm just saying. Think about it. We need to have flexibility in the marketplace to accommodate special individuals such as myself.
So, I think if we begin to put into perspective what's going on in the industry is that, last week we talked about the medical collections.
Yes.
July 2022. All 3 major bureaus are going to begin to strip the medical collections from up to 70% of the medical collections that are currently reported on an individual's credit report. Add to that this type of assessment where we take the average of 2 middle scores, and like here I'm looking at an average. Let's see, for the example I have, and it's not on the screen, but there's 590 and 626. Mm-hmm. Somebody have a calculator real quick?
Oh, I have it on the FICO. Here
590 plus
590, 619, 661, 693.
Divided by 2.
So the average score is going to be 656 between the 2.
Okay, there you go.
So it's allowing for a greater flexibility, but if they went the other way, it would have been an average score of 608, and then they don't qualify.
Exactly.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But now, this is when I was teaching the LOs the other day at the NMLS whatever class, all right, now you can't place medical collections on the credit report until they're 6 months old.
12 months old is what we're transitioning to.
Okay, well, I'm saying right now it's
Right now
6
it's
months
6
old.
months.
It's 6
Right,
months
6 months
old.
old.
So you got 6 months old. You can't. So my whole thing is, you have an opportunity to pay the medical debt within that 6 months, or have a payment plan for that 6 month period, so it never arrives at that destination of being on your credit report. Okay, so I think that goes back to something in the first hour, and Jennifer I was talking, the education component. Nobody's educating the borrower. The why. Why aren't you paying your medical bill? Why did you go buy that car? Why? Why?
Well, it's clearly it's not because, to some degree, I got to believe it's not because the information's not out there.
Oh no, I know it's out there.
We just don't endeavor to figure out the
but
facts
this was my
associated
class.
with the issue.
This was the part of my class the other day. My portion I was teaching, discrimination, fair credit, understanding your credit. Like the whole right now, of course, Credit Karma is a joke. Yes, I said that out loud.
It is.
But Credit Karma, you can still get the free Credit Karma report up to April 22nd. Blah 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 blah.
But you know what I think Credit Karma does do though is it does give people some sort of indicator, at least that hey, their score's going up or score's going down.
Okay, that could true. But now
right?
Here you have the other component that we was doing in my session the other day. Why are they trying to utilize Vantage FICO when Vantage FICO is not applicable to any?
So which one do you recommend people to use?
No, basically go with the standard. TransUnion, Experian.
Oh, directly to the source.
Yeah, because that Vantage FICO, that's just another level of review.
It's just a different algorithm that
exactly.
they don't have
it's
to pay
another
FICO
level of
for.
review. Exactly.
They don't want to pay FICO
for
They don't want to pay FICO for the original algorithm that was developed 30 years ago that we used before legislation came out that said, because when credit scores first came out, we weren't allowed to release them to the consumer. Right?
But now the consumer has to go and get them.
Well, now we're required to release them to the consumer, and it's because of legislation in the 90s that came out and said, hey, people have a right to their credit score. And FICO's like, hey, but we own this trademark to this algorithm. So so clearly they were overridden by the federal government. So now we give them the credit scores as part of the disclosure process.
But see, you're missing out on a point, though.
But you're missing the point. What was born out of that
has been purchased by Experian.
Okay.
So basically, Experian said, I'm going to control this environment over here because the Vantage FICO is inconsequential at the end of the day. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Well, that doesn't mean at some point in the future it couldn't become consequential.
Then you got to have TransUnion buy into it and Equifax buy into it.
But the point I'm making is that legislation that required us to disclose credit scores and give people an opportunity to pay for their individual credit scores online, born out of that was a multitude of different algorithms disguised as credit scoring models, but they're not the original FICO model.
But see, on the flip side of that, there is a FICO mortgage model, there's a FICO auto model, there's a FICO credit card model, and see, people don't understand. Actually, when you're buying a loan, when you're trying to get a loan, there's a FICO mortgage model.
Yes.
So basically, it's not going to be the same as Credit Karma and all the rest. It's just not going to be the same.
Thank you for bringing that up because so many clients are shocked once they go and visit the lender and apply. They're like, I just don't know why. Then they could refer back to the Credit Karma or wherever thing they're involved in where they thought their score was very high.
And, and I can tell you just from experience that if you go out there and you try to get a free copy of your credit report, and then you try to get a credit score, what you end up doing is signing up for a monthly subscription to all 3 credit bureaus. So it's like at the end of the day, I'm like, this is not what I want. What I want is a copy of my credit score.
Yeah.
And the best way I think to do that is I did what I did. I went and applied with a buddy who's in the mortgage business and said, hey, I'm going to fill out this application. Give me my credit scores because I'm thinking about getting a loan.
And so but see, it comes back to the education now. See, Dina and Jennifer are sitting over there trying to care about people. Okay, I'm only interested in if the check clear. Okay, so but you got to educate these people so I can get my check to clear. I'm just
Yeah, so that's why he seems like he's playing nice right now, but it's all about him.
Yes. And the sooner you people embrace that, the better off you're gonna be, damn it.
Absolutely. Let's all get with Jen or Mac and get that credit score looked at and
Yes.
see what's going on.
Because think about it, you can't purchase a home, even though they're getting a little more flexible in the marketplace, unless your credit score is sufficient. If your credit score and your history is sufficient and proficient and stuff like that. Like I was saying earlier, over the last year,
Yeah.
because somebody had the audacity to get in my face and tell me how reckless I was financially, I have made a
It had to be one of your sisters.
concerted effort
It was.
to be a better person financially, because my world was, hey, pay cash, let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I was never really aligned with my credit. You know, it was there, but what the hell? Pay cash. Well, I'm finding out that it wasn't about me paying cash. It was me not being smart financially
With your credit.
It would not just the credit, just in general. Because my thing was how many suits and watches I could buy this month. That was my.
But you know what? It's crazy because when you don't know a lot about the good reports and how the algorithms and all that stuff work, I may have paid off a credit card, and then all of a sudden I get an alert that my score has dropped, or
cash. That was cash.
Or, anyway, so I'm like, what happened? And then they said, well, don't pay the whole thing off. You got to leave a little bit,
Right.
or you're kind of paying. I'm like, oh my God.
And it's true. Before we go to break, one of my credit cards sent me a text and said your credit score went up because your revolving credit card line went down below a certain percentage. I'm like, huh? I always felt like, hell, if I don't owe the whole thing, I'm good.
Yes. It's confusing.
It's totally confusing. Yeah. So we're going to take a break, and then Mac is going to educate us on credit because, trust me, he got something to say. Okay? He got something
Always
to say.
got something to say.
Exactly. He can't help himself.
But that's why you have me on the show.
He's the Macapedia.
Can't shut up.
Macapedia. So we're going to come back with Macapedia and the lovely and vivacious and always on the make, Dina Ramos Salazar.
Have you found I need to increase my real estate brand value, start overcoming those limiting beliefs, and truly grow my business? Well, I have some great news for you. The Real ELC offers elite real estate training for professionals just like you. Whether you're a new agent or a seasoned professional, you can gain access to the wisdom, tips, and insights of a team with decades of real estate, business development, and marketing experience. And you want to know the best part? By receiving training from the Real ELC, you'll become part of the RMG Collective National Real Estate Marketing Platform. Just visit therealelc.com to start growing your real estate business today.
Hi there, I'm Dina Salazar, broker and owner of Platinum One Properties. For the past 20 years, my passion for real estate and strong sense of integrity have been the driving force and key to making real estate dreams come true for our clients. With preferred lenders, builders, and title companies, we are able to provide service beyond your expectations. So if you're in the market to sell, buy, or lease, give us a call today. Platinum One Properties, exceeding expectations and creating the standard in real estate.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.
Hi, I'm Tish Sotelo of Globally Tish. I'm the host of the REU Lifestyle segment. Every Saturday, I will be sharing with you everything that's hot in real estate, food, fashion, fun, and travel. I will be going from different locations, showing you where our RMG collectives have listings. I will be going from place to place, showing you what's hot in real estate, where the best places to eat, the best places to shop, as well as kind of just what's going on in our city. I love everything lifestyle, and I want to share everything that's so exciting about this city, other cities in the surrounding areas, as well as nationwide, and sometimes internationally. I'm so excited to share all of this hot, new, yummy stuff with you. Join me every Saturday on the REU Lifestyle segment.
Okay, we're back, and Mac just gave me some insight on how crooked a loan officer is.
No, that's really not true.
So now you heard, though. What is a good down payment for a self-employed person to only go back 1 year?
You know, credit score drives that as well, but clearly 20% usually is a deciding factor. But the key to it is they need to be you need to be able to verify they've been self-employed for what, 5 years, right, Jennifer? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, 5 years.
The corporation has to be established for 5 years.
And so, in my instance, I use just a letter from the CPA.
Okay, now, in all seriousness, Mac was saying something about charge-offs, how you can...
Collections and charge-offs.
Collections and charge-offs. Now, here's my question, and this is a question for both you and Jennifer. If you have a collection item that's been placed on the credit report by the collection agency, but it was charged off by the original creditor, does that still work the same way?
Ask me that again.
Okay. Most of the time, the collection agency is the one puts it on the credit report.
Right.
But for the collection agency to get it, wasn't it charged off by the original creditor?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily?
Sometimes, but not necessarily. They may sell the collection before it's charged.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's I always assume that the collection item has been charged off by the creditor.
Yes. But no, that's not always the case.
Okay.
No.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
I said that not necessarily is the case. So you can have the original creditor in collection, and then they sell that collection to the credit agency. You have to remember, a credit always runs behind. So they may report one, and for you to verify that information, it can take, unless the consumer doesn't realize and rebuttals it, then it's going to be there.
Well, how can you sell off my debt if it's not charged off?
You can sell rocks in America and get
I
rich.
know, I know, but I'm asking a question to explain it.
Yeah.
How can you sell off debt that has not been charged off, but well, I just answered in my head because the creditor still wants to get paid on it.
He wants to get.
He still wants to get paid
He wants
on
to
it.
get collection. There's some
Yeah.
coins that it becomes charged off of their books.
But
It's
the
gone.
gone.
Collection is still there. They still sell that for pennies.
Yeah.
And the collectors try to make money by selling it for more or getting more from the client.
Now, can say you have a charge off, because I used to buy charged off debt myself. Say you have a charge off, can a charge off be reestablished as a new debt by a collection agency? No, it can't.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So how is it that people have all these collection items
For like ever.
forever?
Well, they probably
Yeah.
just
Because they
haven't
keep
been updated.
because they can cycling
They
through.
keep on
They keep
cycling
cycling
through,
through.
yeah.
But they're
I
not
used to buy
supposed to.
third generation debt. I used to buy
They no longer do that.
Yeah, but it can only be reported for 7 years, and then you can.
Well, I'm just saying, I used to buy third generation debt,
Okay.
and for 10 cents on the dollar, and it wasn't hugely collectible, but you could make a little dollars on it based out of fear and stuff like that. But there are still generational debt buyers who are buying debt that's 2, 3, 4 generations old. And I guess if it's in that 7-year window, because here's how it works. I'll buy it for 70 cents, but I'll sell it to you for 72 cents. And then I'll sell it to her for 74 cents. You see what I mean? So it's generational. It's going through multiple generations. So my whole thing is, when it comes to educating these buyers, or even your buyers that Dina might have who has that generational debt on their credit report, how do you help them to get them approved so she can go ahead and buy them a house, find them a house?
They literally have to go to credit establishers, companies, they're out there, and get those items removed.
Yeah.
I mean, they have ways to do them. They have, just like I know my guidelines, they know those guidelines, and they're
Okay.
able to fight those with the Bureau.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Credit restoration companies are just good at credit restoration, right? And we're not credit restorators. You know, we're just not.
Well, so if you're not credit restoration, what is the rapid rescore? Isn't that credit restoration?
For over a 30-day period, but we're talking. Some people just need long-term. Credit restoration, right? We can analyze it over a 30-day period and say, hey, you pay this down to a certain level, then then your credit score is likely to go up to this amount. And I've done that, but a couple of things I think are important too, though, is to talk about collections versus charge-offs, right? So you're talking about reestablishing charge-offs and or getting rid of charge-offs. And like I shared with you, the example that I had, and I closed yesterday, and nobody really took the time to read the credit report.
Right.
And she had substantial collections.
Right.
Right? But I read the trade lines, and the individual trade lines, I'm looking at, this is pretty old. So I just called the credit agency that I use and said, look, and I told the buyer, look, we're going to do a conference call tomorrow. Here's the number, here's the order, call them tomorrow, and you're going to conference these two creditors, and we're going to see if these are collections or charge-offs.
Okay.
And they were charge-offs. And so FHA says, hey, if it's charged off,
don't exist.
Move on.
Wow.
Okay. Now,
Conventional says if the charge off is less than $5,000, you write it off. If it's more, it needs to be paid before or during the closing. So what happens is, I have a lady like that. In a situation like that, we go in what ifs. So, well, ma'am, if you want to do this, you're going to have to negotiate this debt. Right now, I can pass the U by excluding that and making a note to the underwriter that we're going to pay that while you make a negotiation with them. You give me the letter of settlement, and then we'll pay that lesser amount. But you have to do that all consequently until closing.
Okay. Now, see, here's my thing right now. Every week I'm seeing, contract pending, okay? This question is for Dina.
On every listing.
Every listing. Every listing. Mm-hmm. So now I've gone up each week to a different number. My contract pending number this week is 1.1. $1.1 million. Contract pending.
Everything's pending. Contract pending.
Everything's contract pending. I've seen transactions. We have some in the office right now. They haven't even finished. Dina's profession, real estate professional, they haven't even finished getting the MLS number, and they've gotten 15. They haven't even got the MLS number assigned, and they're getting all these offers.
Well, what's crazy is that when you have an affordable home on the market that looks good, you have, 10 offers or more, and your phone is ringing non-stop that whole first week you have it listed, and agents become angry. Why didn't you call me and tell me that, give me an opportunity, to adjust our offer or what have you? But sometimes there's so many hundreds of calls that all we can do is put on the agent remarks that we have multiple offers now. Please present your highest and best by XYZ time and day. And if you don't keep up with that listing, and you got to look for it, because it's just, you feel bad as a listing agent, but that's not your only client.
Right.
And, you
it's not.
No kidding. Right.
But you want to know something I found out this week, which it made me laugh, which lots of things make me laugh, but this is what made me laugh. Some of those houses that you like, nice house and that affordable price point, under $500,000.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The agents are still doing open houses, and they already got a contract pending or an agreement for an executed contract, because they're utilizing that to get more customers.
Leads, that's right.
Like,
or backup offers.
Or backup offers.
Because
sure.
anything can happen.
Yes.
And all these people that put offers initially, they're going to go on and try to get their house on the next deal, on the next deal. And so in a period of 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, somebody can lose their financing, their job, or whatever. Right. And then the listing agent is essentially going back, calling everybody, and most of those people have moved on.
Right.
So you have to start over.
And I'm just, because I'm looking at you, because we got these people coming in the office with the closings and stuff like that, and I'm always taking the realtor aside and asking questions about how did they get this sold, how did they get this listing, how long was it on the market, so forth and so on. In the last week, I have not talked to one agent that the house was on the market more than 9 days. Not one.
Not one.
Not one.
Not one.
And we've had over 35 closings in the last week.
Yeah.
Not one was over 9 days.
You know, and I think one of the drivers for that was the Great Recession. You know, I saw a really interesting. It's going to be on 60 Minutes this weekend, and they talk about the Great Recession and how basically because of the Great Recession, which lasted for years, we just quit building.
Yes.
We just quit building.
No, that was on 60 Minutes last Sunday.
Okay, last Sunday.
Yeah, I watched it last Sunday.
Yeah, we just quit building, right?
Yeah.
And then, but add to that the point that they were making on the show was that 30% of the buyers today are what? I've talked about it before. What are they? Institutional investors.
Oh yeah,
they're
buying
single-family dwellings.
That's right, they're buying them up.
Competing with American families that
and one guy
were traditionally
on there,
starter homes, and they're pushing those prices up, and it's not competitive.
No, hold that thought because there's something. I was at a meeting the other day. I'll share. Take a break, pay some bills because I want to stay on that on who people are competing at
exactly
buy wise.
Okay.
Are you looking for the best mortgage loans available nationwide? Welcome to My Mortgage Inc., led by award-winning mortgage expert Jennifer Nina, with expertise in both Florida and Texas market, and a national team for all your mortgage needs. Now you can borrow with confidence. Whether buying, selling, or investing in real estate, you deserve the very best mortgage solutions available, whether it's for new construction, luxury, or an investment property. As a long-time mortgage specialist, Jennifer has built her lender reputation on getting the deal done. And want to know the best part? By working with Jennifer in My Mortgage, you gain access to the REU RMG, an international invitation-only multimedia platform offering exclusive real estate and resources, business alliances, and so much more. Doesn't get better than that. My Mortgage Inc. We treat your mortgage like our mortgage. Find out more information at yourmortgagepro.biz today.
Hi, I'm Tish Sotelo of Globally Tish. I'm the host of the REU Lifestyle segment. Every Saturday, I will be sharing with you everything that's hot in real estate, food, fashion, fun, and travel. I will be going from different locations, showing you where our RMG collectives have listings. I will be going from place to place, showing you what's hot in real estate, where the best places to eat, the best places to shop, as well as kind of just what's going on in our city. I love everything lifestyle, and I want to share everything that's so exciting about this city, other cities in the surrounding areas, as well as nationwide, and sometimes internationally. I'm so excited to share all this hot, new, yummy stuff with you. Join me every Saturday on the REU Lifestyle segment.
Osborne Advisors, the official commercial mortgage company for the Real Estate You Show, Saturdays 11 a.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Central on the Global Live Network, www.reuworldwide.com. For all your commercial real estate mortgage needs, go to www.reuloan.com for both commercial real estate and business loans nationwide. 800-460-9165. That's 800-460-9165.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Hi, I'm Naomi, founder of Butler Media, a digital marketing and graphic design agency. We're built for small business owners who want personal marketing that gives them an edge. Reaching the right customer with the right message at the right time is the lifeblood of any successful business. We specialize in design, development, and implementation of proven online marketing strategies in order to grow your business. Whatever you need, we can help your business find success in today's competitive marketplace. Media. Start here, go anywhere.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Okay, I'm E.L. Crane. This is the Real Estate U Show here each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 a.m. Pacific time. I'm joined by Jennifer Nina of My Mortgage Inc., Dina Ramos Salazar of Platinum One Properties, and him, Macapedia,
That would
Mac
be me.
Blankenship
See.
of Guaranteed Rate.
The Mac checker.
He's
That's
the Mac.
right.
He didn't get the Mac check me today because this is about
Next week.
Next week he'll be Mac checking me again. Now we were talking about institutional investors buying up properties, but before you finish that, Mac, from the show last week, I was at an event the other day, Think Realty, and this event was all investor-related lenders. No traditional lenders were in there.
Wow.
All investor-related lenders. But one lender stood out to me, and he's in Jennifer's neck of the woods. Okay, he's in South Florida. He's in Plantation. He's in Plantation, Florida. Okay, this is his gig, right? And the president is sitting right there. President owner sitting right there, and his two loan officers right here. His investors, I mean, he supplies funds to build to rent. That is it. Build to rent. That is his whole program. I said, you are giving money, providing resources for people to build to rent. I said, so one house, no. Minimum 16 units.
Wow.
Build to rent. Mm-hmm. We are financing build to rents. We're not financing build to sell. We're financing build to hold.
At a level that we've never seen before.
I asked him, how many units have you done in the last year?
It's a complete disruptor. Go ahead, tell me.
3,700 units.
Absolutely.
Wow.
In the last year, he's
Whoa.
funded build to rent 3,700 units. In South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
In South Florida. I said, what kind of rents are your investors getting? He says, our investors are getting average rents in South Florida, $2,300 a month for less than 1,400 square feet. And their return on investment, 29%, and they are projecting in South Florida with this program, because they're trying to bring it to Texas, that the rents are going to grow by an average of 22% a year.
And they grew in South Florida last year 40%.
There you go.
Rental increases. Yeah,
That's
rental,
amazing.
Rental
Yeah,
increases in the Miami area.
Yeah.
2022
Yeah.
or 2021 was 40%.
Yeah. So, but he's just saying over the next. They know that's a minimum.
Yeah, minimum.
The minimum, 22%. That means you could be in a roach invested hovel, and you're going to get a rent increase. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, that's true.
To keep just having somewhere to live,
Yes.
you're going to get a minimum of 22% rent increase. Think about that family I explained I grew up with. If that was going on
Yes.
then, oh my Lord.
They've been pushed out of their house.
They've been pushed out of their house.
And I think people are getting pushed out of their house.
Oh yeah, they're definitely getting pushed
yeah,
out. They're
yeah.
definitely getting pushed out.
And you know, and I think that's why the concept of multi-generational has become such a big idea, right? But and that's why we're doing the charity event this evening. It's
Yes.
because you have
Yes.
families
They're
living with
consolidated.
families
They're
who are living
consolidated.
with families
Yeah.
just because they got to keep a roof over
And
their
if
head.
people have lost their jobs and they can't find work or whatever, you
Yeah.
know, it's
Well,
just
work is readily available. You
It
know,
is.
and I think
Not real work.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. How do you define that, and what does it pay,
Yeah.
and how is it relative
Right.
to affording a roof over your head,
Well, with
food,
especially
car,
with small
insurance.
children and needing daycare and stuff like that too.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of variables.
A lot
you
of
know.
variables.
Right. I talked to a young lady. She's blessed because she's a female builder, and we were having a conversation about why she's not charging as much for her homes as everybody else is. The escalating in cost. She says, "EL, as long as I have profit, I can be happy with that. But if you notice, EL, you don't see women in here with husbands. These are single moms I'm selling to. These are single moms I'm selling to."
And I think that's just such a relevant point, is that the institutional investors that are going out there building and turning around and renting, they're not looking at the people aspect associated with home ownership. They're looking at the profit capacity associated with it. And, you know, and a really similar situation, I'm doing a DSCR transaction right now. My DSCR is 0.75. And it could easily be 1.25 based upon current value, current rental values. And I'm asking my elderly owner who owns rental property around the country, I'm like, well, why? You know, this is a challenge. Why are we? Well, they're good tenants, man.
Yes, but that's
and
rare.
You know what? And I'm not going to argue with her.
It's
about
rare.
That. I'm not.
It's rare though.
But she's not an institutional investor making those decisions based upon the profit and loss for the year, based upon the market analysis, and said, hey, we're just going to have an arbitrary increase on a quarterly basis because for every rent that for every lease that expires, 10% just because we can.
That guy that was on 60 Minutes last week, when I was looking at that segment, I'm not sure, but I saw horns. Okay,
I did too. We're
I'm
laughing
not
at
sure.
him. We're laughing at him, but I saw the same thing,
no,
and the way that he
exactly.
was justifying, and the way that he justifies. Well, young Americans today, they don't want to be tied down. I'm like, you're full of.
Yeah, I'm
Can I say it? Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead. Say it, Mac.
It was so.
I wanted to just slap him upside the head. Did you? I did.
Yeah, I did. It was so infuriating to hear his justifications. It was like he had a litany of justifications on the why.
He could have just said, "Hey, it's because it makes me rich."
Yes,
I would have felt better with that.
My whole thing was, why don't you just say, "I'm a greedy bastard"?
That's right. Because at least that would have been the truth, right? Because I hate narratives.
Exactly.
Hate them. And it was just a narrative that he was creating to justify his existence and that of the investor of his investors.
Spin.
I don't do
It
spin.
was all spin.
It was all spin.
It was all spin.
Okay, so I can tell you what about these two guys. They might not get along, but they do agree on one thing: the truth. They stand by it, and this is why we're all such good friends, because EL for sure, he's not going to hold him back. He will call you out in a group of people.
And make you turn red.
Make you turn red.
Red is this microphone.
Yes. Mac will hold it in, but he'll be mad as hell.
This is true, people.
I'll text him later.
Yeah.
I'm going to let him have it.
Yeah, send a really long email.
Yes, because, and I'm, there are a couple, I met, one of the more prominent hard money lenders at this event the other day, right?
Okay.
And he says, "Yeah, I want to have lunch with you." And I'm like, I don't know. I literally said, and I always look at opportunities. Remember me, check clear? But it was just, you ever had a conversation with somebody, you say, "Okay, I need to go take a shower." That's the conversation I had with this guy.
Yeah.
He was doing this, and his conversation, it left grime on me in regard to what he is anticipating happening in the market for investors who are doing fix and flips to gouge the buyer, for investors who want to do multi-family construction to gouge the renters.
Right.
And this was normally in the past, these were sidebar conversations. This was a conversation that everybody that was standing there could hear.
I think another relevant issue associated with housing in America today is the housing departments around the country, in the states, right?
They're horrible.
That are funded by the federal government by and large. Plus, I would assume that there's some local taxes, but they used Miami as an example, and they went in and they discovered that there were developers in the Miami area that were, quote, building affordable housing.
Right.
But it wasn't. It wasn't affordable. It wasn't even close. And then the markup associated between the middleman and the actual builder was 30 or 40%, to where they came to the conclusion that what they were doing is they were ripping off the federal government, they were ripping off the state housing departments.
Stages.
And the state housing departments were completely unaware of it. And what happened is the state or the
they're not unaware, they get paid.
Well, you know, maybe they do.
Thank
But
you,
they interviewed the person that was in charge of this, the state housing department, I think, for the local community, and he was completely unaware that this developer had been brought up on charges, federal charges, and convicted of defrauding the housing department.
But see, but now, watch this here. Here in Houston, remember we had 3 years ago, pre-COVID, where they shut down the housing department for the grants and stuff like that. What nobody knows that came out of it, because one of the ladies that's an RMG, she kind of enlightened. She says because of graft in the housing department, because some of the people in the hierarchy were taking funds and purchasing rental properties with those funds.
Sure. And you know what, here's a real major issue. If you look at the housing department and the budgets associated with those housing departments on both a federal and a state level, right? It's grown exponentially.
That's right.
Right? But you know, the number of units hasn't. The number of units hasn't. It's decreased substantially over the decades, and it's because it's called, I guess, maybe some free markets are just way too free for some people, and they have a tendency to just take money and think it's free, and it's not.
Okay, now I'll tell you, now this is what's going on in my home state, because my home state has a huge housing problem because of cost, California.
Right.
But what they're doing now, they're doing 0 lot line approvals, putting 16 units on each 3/4 acres. Wow. Everything is up.
Okay.
Everything is up. Everything is up.
I like it. Right.
All right. So now they've, in one community just outside of Los Angeles, but in Los Angeles County, you can get a 1,200 square foot apartment in this bundle.
Okay.
For $2,000 a month in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Okay.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Right.
Unheard
That's
of.
what they were charging for the tent people. The people
Exactly.
in their tents on the
We need to get
time.
our Instagram friends from California.
Yeah,
back
we
in.
need
Because
to
what it is,
share that
and you want to know what's creating that dynamic?
What's that?
More housing allowability. Because people don't understand Los Angeles, San Diego, and San Francisco are all landlocked. They're all landlocked. They're all landlocked.
By the mountains or the
in
ocean.
the water. That's right. They're all landlocked. So by doing it this way and bundling, look, we're giving you housing. I can't give you grass, but I can give you housing.
Yeah.
That's what it's coming down to. I can't give you grass, but I can give you housing.
But you got roof over your head and it's affordable.
And it's affordable. And that's the thing. It's
and
affordable.
there's a park across the street if you hang out. You know,
but it's affordable.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Because when you go into these outer areas, there's still land there. Like in the valley, there's still land there. And what they're doing to acquire this land, eminent domain. Eminent domain.
Love it. Love it.
Eminent domain, because those, what they call those, slumlords?
Yes. Yeah.
See ya. They taking it from
Beautiful.
Good.
They're taking it
Beautiful.
from.
You know,
and that needs to be everywhere.
I agree with that. You know, and you know, I can imagine that a county like Los Angeles has very specific codes associated with being a landlord.
Yes.
And if you're not upholding those codes and you've been served with notice after notice after notice, well, guess what?
And see, the problem was they had been serving notice, but nobody acted on the notice.
Acted on it. That's and from my perspective, and I would think from your perspective, then it's completely appropriate for the county to take eminent domain.
That's right.
And
That's right.
and create affordable housing for
and they're trying
its
to get it
citizens.
set up so it can come in the city, not just in the county areas, come in the city. And the same thing needs to go on in South Florida, especially in Miami-Dade. Because
with 40% increases
yes,
in rents
there's
year
people,
over year?
oh my
Absolutely.
Lord. You have because last time we were there, you know, researchaholic, I'm looking at hey, everybody says they're coming here. Are they really all buying? So I'm looking up rents in the area where the hotel we were at.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the rents over there like, okay, I ain't never been that drunk that I want to sign a lease for $4,500 a month.
Never.
I ain't never been that drunk in my life.
Not even a mortgage.
No.
No.
$4,500. What do you get with that?
And an apartment.
In an apartment, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like a monopoly game, right? At this point, without responsible government, and I have these debates and discussions with people that are just completely opposite of that thought, right? They think private enterprise and free markets ought to govern everything, and I disagree.
No.
And you can take the monopoly game, and if you play it long enough, what's going to happen?
You're going to have all the real estate.
One person's going to end up with all the money, and everybody else is going to end up with nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what responsible government is to do: is to create equal footing in the economy, so that. Clearly, you reward the people that go out and work hard, right? They need to be rewarded, but you got to create an economy where there's equal footing associated with, people just don't have the basic needs. They have to have, or the government has to create opportunity for people just to have the basic needs.
And
if the private market can't provide that, then the government needs to step in and do it.
Yeah, but then there's another thing. I was taking my oldest son, Jason. He was having surgery the other day, and we drove through the Montrose area where I used to have some property at, right? And I got silent while we were talking, while we were driving. He said, "Dad, what's wrong?" I said, "Well, every time I come through here, I have a flashback on selling that piece of property right there. I own some property right there in Montrose between Richmond and the freeway."
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
I sold that back in 1992 for, I'm embarrassed to say now, it's still in the same condition, location, because the guy I sold it to still has it.
Okay.
All right? Let's just say it's worth $17.2 million now. There was nothing when I sold it. But think about it. Everybody doesn't have the capacity to buy and hold.
They don't. Yeah.
I had to sell it because I needed funds for my business at the time.
Yeah.
But boy, when I go through there and it's still the same property, when I tell you everything around there is brand new, he has not done a thing, but his the leases on the storefronts in the front, he's getting $47 a square foot a year.
Yeah.
I was getting back then $9 a square foot a year. I want to go in there and firebomb the place, but anyway.
I bet you did.
But think about this. I'm not the only person that sees all that or has experienced that. And those institutional investors, I guarantee you, they are beating down his door to get that real estate, because everything over there right now, 3-story townhomes, office building, and it's right down the street from the museums. It's right there. You go across the bridge and you're in the museum district right there. All that stuff is right there. But those institutional investors and those REITs, that's where everything has grown exponentially. And before we take a break, the thing I saw in Florida is something I saw originally at home in California. Don't care. The landlords don't care.
Especially institutional landlords, they don't care.
They don't care.
Well, maybe they do, right? But they're
not bottom line.
But they're not connected, right?
Right.
You can't care for somebody that you don't know and you're not connected with.
That's right. There you go. So we're going to take a break. We went over. We'll take a break. Come back shortly. Jennifer Nina, how you doing? Dina Ramos Salazar, how you doing? Mac, I don't care.
He's institutional host.
Take a break, Carlos.
Customize feedback on your market business model, and finally, watch your luxury real estate business take off. Get ready to spend your days helping others achieve their dreams while you achieve yours. RMG The Collective, growth in partnership. Call or get started today.
Hey everyone, my name is Kaylee Heenan with BRPS Title. If you're looking to grow your real estate business this year, BRPS Title is the perfect title partner for you. Give me a call today and ask about our concierge closings, our luxury showcases, and our custom lead generation program, as well as our most exclusive program, the Roundtable Mastermind Group. Give me a call at 832-603-2005.
Hi there, I'm Dina Salazar, broker and owner of Platinum One Properties. For the past 20 years, passion for real estate and strong sense of integrity have been the driving force and key to making real estate dreams come true for our clients. With preferred lenders, builders, and title companies, we are able to provide service beyond your expectations. So if you're in the market to sell, buy, or lease, give us a call today. Platinum One Properties, exceeding expectations and creating the standard in real estate.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Let me ask you something. Have you been thinking to yourself that it's time to start making the real estate big leagues? Welcome to the Real Estate U Show, a weekly nationally syndicated multimedia show designed to empower both buyers and real estate industry professionals by providing tips, insights, and inspiration for all things buying, selling, and investing in real estate. Featuring a team of real estate experts, financial and new construction professionals, and weekly guest entrepreneurs, this fun and entertaining show breaks down all the complex news happening in real estate nationally. And you want to know the best part? Through the Real Estate U Show multimedia platform, you can gain access to the RMG Collective, an exclusive invitation-only real estate professionals group. Doesn't get better than that. Catch the Real Estate U Show weekly at REUworldwide.com Saturday Eastern, 10 Central.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Okay, we're back, and today has been a really lively conversation about some of the things that's going on in the marketplace.
There's just a lot of things going on in the marketplace.
That's why I say it's a violent marketplace.
We live in a really unusual time.
Yeah.
But it's a good time. I mean, there's no complaints here. I'm as busy as I can be. Or how about y'all?
Okay, it's not about you. It's about me.
It's about me. When I'm talking, it's about me. I'm talking about me.
Oh,
when you
yes,
talk,
it
you're
is.
talking about you.
No, I'm talking about everybody else. You are always talking about you. Okay,
Self-promotion.
Right? He is the king of self-promotion. All right, the man got seven different monikers on social media. So, Miss Nina, you always bragging about that damn weather over there. Why the rent so high?
Because it's beautiful.
Tell him, Jen, because it's beautiful.
Because it's beautiful.
And they have a beautiful beach.
Summer's here. I mean, I know why. You know, it's like it's hard for me to live any place because the summers. I mean, what was it? Thursday. I said, you know what? I need a day off, and I went and sat down in this restaurant by the beach. In my bikini.
We don't like her.
Yeah.
We don't like you.
Oh.
We don't like you at all. You know, really? She said she took off. You took off? You took the day off?
I sure did. I was working on my phone.
Oh, that what you going with?
No kidding. That
what you going with?
Well, I needed to disconnect and unplug. Yes, I did. I do not feel guilty.
Well, most of the real estate is in close proximity to the water and beautiful sites. So
don't help her.
People are paying for it.
Thank you, Dina.
They are.
I'm moving to Kima. Not.
So you can pay the extra insurance.
Oh my goodness, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have a client that was referred to me just recently, and they don't even live on the beach, right? And flood maps change, right? And some of the things that Averill was talking about last year with the reassessment of, and it said that, you know, and I remember distinctly, she said some people, their rates are going to go down, and some people they're going to go up.
Watch this here. I saw a $8,000 a year flood policy the other day.
Wow. I saw a $4,750 flood policy yesterday.
$8,000 flood policy.
Where was the home located?
Just that little place past Lake City. I can't think of it.
Dickinson?
No.
Texas City?
No, it's one
Santa Fe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. $8,000.
I believe it. Yeah.
In Santa Fe.
I was like, what the hell? But matter of fact, I was like, what's that expensive in Santa Fe?
I know.
True that.
Yeah, but actually, I saw the picture. It was a really nice house.
Wow.
Really nice house. An $8,000 flood policy. Wow. Yeah. So you have all these things going on that are making housing so unaffordable. Or, as I said in the class today, I had Jennifer laughing about discrimination because one of the parts of the class was about discrimination, and I was telling her I discriminate against short people, ugly people, and guys that do comb overs. Okay, that's what I discriminate against.
That do what?
Comb overs. Comb overs. Yeah, stuff like that. And
he's just jealous because they have hair.
Yeah, well, if it's not really hair, if you got to pull it from one side to the other. Okay, so
I'm going with that.
So, yeah. So basically,
hey, I might need to be doing this. Let's see. Yeah, I think I got a little bit of that going here.
That's where you get the little hat.
There you go. But it was really centered on there is so much subtle discrimination in the lending process. And this is something I learned, and I'm quite sure Mac and Jennifer already knew this because of HMDA, but the percentage of borrowers by ethnicity who are denied just based upon ethnicity, it was alarming how whites in the same zip codes with the same qualifiers are approved at 72% versus minorities are approved at 19%. Think about that for a second. So basically, that the institutional dynamic Mac was talking about, there's institutional racism in regard to the lending process as well. And that's also keeping people out of housing. And the happiest people, and I say this all the time, in the real estate industry are the apartment owners. They are the happiest people in real estate. Because if you drive around, see all these apartments coming up, drive around. Because, they can't buy a house, taxes too high, insurance too high. They have credit for an apartment, but they don't have credit for a loan. It's just insane.
Yeah, so I'm going to read this. I've had it in front of me now for a little while in a couple of segments, but this was written in late 2021. It said the U.S. is short 5.24 million homes, an increase of 1.4 million from 2019 for a gap of 3.84 million according to new research. But here's the deal. Watch this. The U.S. Census found that 12.3 American households were founded from January 2012 to June 2021, but just 7 million new single-family homes were built.
There you go. And they're only doing, on average, 1.5 a year. 1.5 new construction a year. Now,
1.5 million.
Yeah, 1.5 million. We have the capacity to do 4 million homes a year. Now, I work with builders every day. Builders are greedy as hell. And the fact that they're not building no homes tells you one thing: supply and demand. Supply and demand to keep the prices up, the profits up, and to minimize financial growth and wealth in minority communities. So yes, I just said that out loud.
You did, but by the same token, having been in the business a long time, no young builders. We know some young builders. We're going to see one tonight, right? And the thing that I do think that builders do, especially the younger individuals, smaller builders, they take on a great deal of risk, right? I have a couple of really young builders, and it's a couple or Drew Collenberg, which we know very well. And it's really risky for them, and part of the risk I think associated with it is, in certain areas, unless they can find a niche where they won't compete with the majors, that it can be really difficult for them to turn a profit, right?
The only way they're not going to compete with the majors is they got to go build new construction in the hood. That's the only way.
And and clearly that's Drew.
And that's what they're doing.
Drew found affordable lots.
Exactly.
We're not calling it the hood. Okay, it wasn't. It was a community that could be redeveloped. How about that? And then, so I'm correct and he's incorrect.
Yeah, well, he's being politically correct.
that would be true.
Yes.
Truth teller. And like the young builders, though.
But you also have to understand that neighborhoods also change.
Yes.
Mean, look, the Bronx, what was this place? Oh my God, I forgot the name. But it was before you couldn't even walk through there. Prostitutes, drugs, you name it. Now they have $1 million homes.
This is what they call gentrification, people.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
gentrification. That's
you.
exactly what it is.
It's totally gentrification.
Yeah.
But think about this for a second. You have these young builders that you're talking about. My 3 favorite young builders are 3 women, all under 30 years old.
I believe that.
Now, they don't have the capacity to build more, but like I said earlier, when I mentioned earlier, one of them, she actively pursues to sell to single moms. Actively.
Yeah.
Because she says, and I quote, those yuppie hamburger buyers, she said just like that. I said, I ain't heard yuppie in forever. Okay? But she says those yuppie hamburger buyers, they don't need my assistance. Single moms need my assistance.
I like that.
Yeah.
They need my assistance. A millennial couple who has a $175,000 household income does not need her assistance. A single mom who's making between $60,000 and $70,000 a year, that's who needs her assistance. That she has no problem waiting for down payment assistance from the city or the county. And I don't care. The check is going to come when it comes.
That's a beautiful thing, right?
Yes.
So clearly she's putting people before profit.
There you go.
And
she's still making a profit.
Good.
I
Good.
think
She's
that's
still
what
making a
we
profit.
Good for her,
lost
because
that
she
so
deserves
much
it.
now.
She deserves it.
Say that again?
That we have lost that, even in our medical industry.
Oh, gosh.
We have forfeited the caring of the human being for the profit.
Yeah.
We see that day to day, and there's very few people that, can do both.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna bounce off of that because there was a Nobel Peace Prize, or what was it? It was maybe no Nobel Peace Prize. There was a New York Times article better than 10 years ago, right, where they went around the world and they analyzed certain procedures, medical procedures.
Yes.
And the procedure that they analyzed was childbirthing.
Oh yeah.
And they looked at other parts of the world, and you could clearly go in and the doctors and the hospitals, they would say, look, it's this much money for this. But in America, they can't do that, right? Yeah. Because they want to have the opportunity, if the slightest little thing doesn't meet the traditional criteria protocol, then they need to be able to charge you a fee for it. But at the end of the day, and it's just what Jennifer said, right? People in other parts of the world considered it an honor to be in the delivery room when a human being was born.
Yeah, but but like me,
and it wasn't based on profit.
No, it wasn't. I'm one of the crazy people that reads their explanation of benefits. Okay, after a procedure or something like that. When I had my stent put in, all right, it cost $113,000. This is a stent. The stent itself, $92.
Yeah.
Okay. The stent itself is $92. The anesthesiologist that they brought in, stuff like that, the actual anesthesia they administered was $107, but they charged $22,000. Okay. The Tylenol they gave me, I didn't say Tylenol 3, the Tylenol they gave me out of the hospital was $91 for a bottle. The same bottle you can go over the counter for $9.
Right.
Yeah.
They charge 10 times more. So the last time I had to go see my cardiologist, I had him laughing. He says, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, in case you want to give me a prescription, I already bought these over the counter, so you can just go ahead and pay me."
You know what? And I think a lot of that, and I remember very distinctly in this article that the author, one of the conclusions that she came to is that in America, hospitals look more like resorts. In other parts of the world, hospitals look like what you would think a hospital is.
Yeah.
You have to go across the street to eat. There's no, water fountain at the entryway. And
January.
and the money is poured into care.
Right.
Yes. Go ahead.
January, my grandfather died. He had, complications, and we had to put him in the hospital. Well, guess what? Unless we came up with it's about $70,000. He was not able to go in.
Wow.
So what do? What about if we didn't have the money? And this was like at 1 o'clock in the morning. And if you don't give us a deposit, we're like, who the hell? How can we get cash at this time of night?
Right.
That we're not taking checks. So it's, again, the industry before
It
that
needs
was
to be
unheard of somebody sick going to a hospital and being turned back.
Well, see, that's the industry like overturned, but with these lobbyists and stuff like that. Here's another crazy story, but it's a true story. My cancer surgery started out with robotics, but it became to the point that they had to bring in a surgeon to actually cut me open versus the robotics doing its thing, right? The robotics charge was $275,000. Didn't finish. The robotics couldn't finish because I had complications because they found out I had 2 masses instead of 1. Okay? Surgeon comes in, they cut me open, stuff like that. Tell me why the surgeon's bill was higher than the robotics bill. But this is the kicker. The surgeon actually got the double dip because he was the one operating the robotics.
And then when he had to stop doing that and go and get his hands dirty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, I think it's probably because he owns a $10 million house in Miami.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Because it's those kind of things that when I hear this is the greatest country on earth, I cringe periodically. It's great for individuality.
Yeah.
But as far as
a collective,
taking care of their people, this country does not take care of people. It's housing, it's health, it's education, it's in all 3 phases, it's haves and have-nots. Plain and simple.
We have the worst healthcare system ever.
Yeah.
And you say that, right? But, there are places that are worse. Right?
No.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
But
it's broken down here, haves and have-nots. That's what I mean by that.
Clearly, the primary driver economically in America is profit, and it's not necessarily people.
And back to self-employed that we were talking about.
Yeah.
When you're self-employed, people don't understand. The people working 9-to-5 jobs are complaining because they have to pay $200 a month for their insurance.
Right.
When you're self-employed, that's easily for one person over $1,000 a month.
That's
Easily.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
So they can charge $90 for a bottle of Tylenol.
Right. Now, like the whole thing is, Tylenol 3 has made me feel good in the past, but that's a whole different thing. It might be worth the $90, but the regular Tylenol, $9? No.
Oh, no. I'm just going to bring my own. Thank you very much.
I'll bring my own. Right. And Dr. Booch, he just says, every time you come in this office, you bring some trouble with you.
Yeah.
I said, but it's good trouble.
Yeah.
But think about this here. And we went off on a tangent, but it's the same thing. It's all tied together. Housing, health, education. What do people want for their children in a house? Good school district. So what do you have to pay for in a good school district? Higher taxes. Okay? If you want proximity to health, higher taxes. But if you want to be in a food desert with no medical facilities, with education challenges, go over here. We're not going to put anything, don't worry about it. Matter of fact, it's not even environmentally sound over there, but you got somewhere to live. Don't worry about it. You got somewhere to live. I mean, I used to own a home in Galena Manor. Not Galena Park, Galena Manor. A lot of people don't understand. There's Fidelity, Galena Manor, then Galena Park, all right? Galena Manor is your middle class area, all right? All homeowners up in there. But they had the same level of cancer as the poorer areas on both sides of them because of proximity to the ship channel and the
petrochemical
industries.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yep.
Everybody. I was, so we have to look
and
at...
that is clear evidence.
Right.
That is factual evidence. There's nothing that could be debunked about that. You can't create any different narrative, and that the people that live in those areas, they pay a price for the corporate profits in that area.
Basically,
and they pay for with their lives.
Before we take a break, I'm going to quote my late father. If you don't demand more, you're not going to get more. If you don't demand more, you're not going to get more. If you keep accepting what you're getting, that's on you.
And you know, and so I'm going to stop you there. The beauty of America, though, still exists that we can still make a difference, right? We can still make a difference at the polls. We can still make a difference in. We have the right to protest, and I think that over at least over the past 40 years, we have effectively made changes and some progress.
Yeah, we made some is the operative word. Some progress. We're going to take a break, pay some bills, and on what he just said is true. But it's also, you have manipulations behind the scenes that we cannot see in housing, health, and education. So take a break, pay some bills. This hour is brought to you by The Designer's Niche and RMG The Collective.
Are you looking for the best mortgage loans available nationwide? Welcome to Mortgage Inc., led by award-winning mortgage expert Jennifer Nina, with expertise in both Florida and Texas markets, and a national team for all your mortgage needs. Now you can borrow with confidence. Whether buying, selling, or investing in real estate, you deserve the very best mortgage solutions available, whether it's for new construction, luxury, or an investment property. As a long-time mortgage specialist, Jennifer has built her lender reputation on getting the deal done. And you want to know the part? By working with her in My Mortgage Inc., you gain access to the REU RMG, an international invitation-only multimedia platform offering exclusive real estate buying and selling resources, business alliances, and so much more. Doesn't get better than that. My Mortgage Inc. We treat mortgage like our mortgage. Find out more information at yourmortgagepro.biz today.
Hey everyone, my name is Kaylee Heenan with BRPS Title. If you're looking to grow your real estate business this year, BRPS Title is the perfect title partner for you. Give me a call today and ask about our concierge closings, our luxury showcases, and our custom lead generation program, as well as our most exclusive program, the Roundtable Mastermind Group. Give me a call at 832-603-2005.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Okay, is Jennifer drinking out of a kitty cup? Is that what that? Look at that. She got a kitty cup.
She's got kids. You got kids. That's what you do when you got kids. You drink out of their cup.
Get a real cup, damn it. This is the Real Estate Youth Show. I'm E.L. Crane. They are not. We're each here Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 a.m. Pacific. I'm joined by the amazingly qualified and lovely Mac Blankenship.
Told ya.
Our award-winning broker owner of Platinum One Properties, Dina Ramos Salazar, who loves me in spite of myself. Yeah. And that woman over here who likes to brag about weather, Jennifer Nina of My Mortgage Inc., which is just a disgusting situation. And why'd y'all even ask, by the way? Then she had the temerity and the audacity. I took the day off and I was sitting by the beach and I was working on my phone.
I know.
Like, nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. We have signed petitions. Nobody likes you.
I mean, it is nice.
I don't care.
Yes.
She's smiling
Boom.
all the way to the beach.
Boom. See ya.
God, Jesus. Did you see that? I don't care.
I saw that right. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
I don't understand. Okay.
I do, right? I've been on those beaches.
Yeah.
I totally get it, Jen. I totally get it.
So, Dina, what's going on around here with 1 and 2 hour on the market?
If you're a listing agent, then you know it's incredibly, I don't even have a word for it. If you have a home that's listed at market value,
yeah,
and then standing,
yeah,
you don't have to be clean. I've seen some stuff. You'll have, definitely multiple offers within the week. And the offer that my seller accepted this week was one that was $15,000 over. They could have kept going, but they didn't want to. It got stressful for the seller to be receiving all the offers, because you must present all offers.
Okay.
And so they were getting all these offers, and then this one came in, $15,000 over list price, no option period. The buyer paying for the title policy, asking for no concessions, and a 7-day financing approval period.
Boom.
With like a double, so like 2% earnest money.
Mm-hmm.
So that earnest money goes hard after the all the option periods
That's right.
Exercise. So that's after a week.
So tell me if you think this offer got approved. I had a client last Sunday I worked with on Sunday. House was listed for $650. Went on the market that day. You have till 6 o'clock to submit your orders. It was listed for $650. They bid $675. They waived the appraisal, no option period, and wrote in $300,000 earnest money.
Wow.
Woo!
$300,000.
$300,000.
Okay.
You think they got it?
Wow.
Nope.
No.
No.
Are you kidding me?
Because me and the agent looking at each other, we're like, he needs 700. You got to go at least 700. At least 700. Because look, in this family that we're working with, we've been working with for a long time, and they want one neighborhood, one body of water.
Right.
Wow.
And I think now they put it into perspective that, hey, you're just going to, if you want this neighborhood, you're either going to have to wait until the market changes, or you're just going to have to listen to me and your real estate agent.
Yeah. Now, there's something else, and Dina probably knows this. And there's a couple of builders out there right now who are putting in escalation clauses. If it escalates, they can back out of the contract.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting even better. I don't know if it's going on over there in Florida, but it's over here. The builders are saying, submit your bid.
Yeah.
It's bidding now. It's like a, yes, they're saying submit your bid. Not your offer.
Your bid.
Your bid. What are you going to bid on this house on behalf of your client? Bid. Not offers. Offers, here's my offer. Okay, turn it down. They literally are auctioning off their inventory now.
I have never seen so many rude salespeople in my life.
Because they know.
Because they know that, okay, so in the past 9 months that we've been building your home, the prices have gone up so much that if I act like a jerk enough to you, and you can complain all you want, they, you know what, we'll release you from this contract, and you don't have to worry about this house anymore. No problem. They're not trying to, like, excuse me, but this is, no, they're not being nice.
Yeah.
Because they know they can put it back on the market and get somebody else at a higher price.
We got 10 others over here.
Oh yeah.
We haven't touched on what's going on in the interest rate market, though. And yesterday was just a massive sell-off, right? Where we saw interest rates go up substantially. I can't quote rates on the air, but and Jen can testify to this, that we've just seen a continual progressive, not even progressive, leap upward. And it seems to be just happening every single day. And so add to that the escalating prices, the escalating insurance, the escalated taxes, and then interest rates. I mean, it's just, but I had a real estate agent tell me yesterday, it's like, man, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine because it's not going to slow down. I said, you really don't think it is? He's like, no, I don't think it's going to slow down any time soon
because
in
the consumer
our market
has shown the willingness to go beyond the scope. That's why. It's consumer driven now. it's dictated by the builders and the sellers, but it's consumer driven. If you have a consumer, we had a closing the other day, not the other day, last week. I know the address. You want to know I know the address? It was on the house next to our old house I used to own. Right? Now, this neighborhood has grown in value, just like every other neighborhood in the market. Looked it up. $120,000 over list.
Wow. Yeah, some neighborhoods are getting it.
Okay, but what? This is the kicker. This neighborhood, this is one of the first. This is the original house I purchased. All right. Walk out the front door, apartments right there.
Oh wow.
So you don't pay that kind of money to be in that proximity to multifamily.
You don't. You don't.
But these people did.
Sure.
These people did. That's how so it's consumer driven. It is supply and demand, but if the consumers don't honor the demand, then you get a change. But right now, you're going to pay $120,000 to walk out of your front door and look at apartments?
Yeah.
To look at apartments. And this is a 45-year-old neighborhood.
Wow.
In the city. And the only benefit you have where it's at is because of the tax rate. That's the only benefit. You are in strip center, multifamily hell over there in this area. It used to be, it's still a good neighborhood looking wise, but it's what has happened around it.
Yeah.
That has changed so dramatically. It used to, it's just a Jewish area, right, where I used to live at, where you had Jewish families walking to the synagogue down the street.
Yeah.
You know, you see all this time. Now, they're not walking. They're not walking because of those multifamilies. Because, and those multifamilies changed after Katrina. All those people from New Orleans, that's where they went to. And those decent apartments to further down the street, nice apartments went from horrible to barely survivable.
Wow.
You know what? And this is, and I've just begun to see the news on this, you know, because I'm a headline reader, and, you know, and I read a lot of news.
You can
every
read?
day.
He can read.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
But, you know, they're beginning to talk recession now, that the escalating prices associated with everything, right? It's just everything, but also the war in Ukraine, and that we could potentially move into a recessionary phase sometime 2023, maybe late 2022, and that would, I think, be corrective as far as the escalating prices, and it would bring interest rates down. Hopefully, the Feds would step in and begin to, you know, buy up mortgage-backed securities again. But, you know, how do they do that? They just issue more debt.
Yeah, constantly. And then on top of that, now this is a personal thing for me, all right? The issuance of debt is one thing. It should be buybacks to facilitate opportunities for those in most need. I don't care who delivers the dollars, Treasury Department, HUD, small business investment companies, it doesn't matter. Until we get a grip on access to housing, we are going to be in this, even if interest rates were to spiral down, we still are going to have a shortage in housing until, and you said it earlier, government intervention.
It's going to take that,
It's
right?
government
Because
intervention.
there just isn't enough profit margin in that, at that level, to create, you know, a desire in the private sector.
That's why you got a government intervention. That's right.
That's right. So, but, you know, then again, you say, and I love this idea, right? They say this, you know, and the private sector likes to say that the government's inefficient, not good at anything, but clearly when you begin to marriage government and private entities together, then, you know, it's been proven over and over and over again that it becomes wrought with fraud sometimes.
Right.
Yep, and that's clear in the housing departments across the country with regards to the size of the budgets and the increase in the size of the budgets over the last 30 years versus the number of units that are being built.
And I say good ideas, bad results.
Bad results.
Good ideas, bad results.
Bad results. But
the problem is that when you leave the to the hands of officials, they misuse those funds. Here, there was a developer that was a city official, and he was given a piece of land to build affordable housing. Well, he sold that lot, which already had a mortgage. to somebody else. Through many years later, they find out, wait a second, why do I have a mortgage on this or a second mortgage? And they tried, and they went back and they said, wait a second, he's using public funds,
right?
You know, that we gave you to do this.
Incredible.
And he sold it out privately and make money on it.
Yeah, it's constant. Yeah, it's constant. The whole thing is being greedy. Everybody's susceptible to greed, not being greedy. Everybody's susceptible to greed. It's how you manage the greed. It's how you manage the greed. Most public officials think they are above the law. So I'm going to push the envelope, push the envelope, push the envelope. And then they bring in outside, private, hey, let me help you push the envelope some more. Oh, yeah, we were supposed to do 60 units, but what we're going to do is we're going to do 30, and we're going to do traditional and the other
pocket
30.
The difference.
Yeah.
We're going to increase our bid, increase the cost so that, you know, we can't build as many units, but we're going to have more profitability, and we're going to put more in our pockets, and we're not going to be able to provide to the public as we were, you know, in the process of taking those government funds. You were instituted. It was instituted that's what you were supposed to do, is provide affordable housing, and that's not what's happening.
Yeah, and before we go to break, have our final segment, think about this for 1 second. Listeners, watchers, and us on the panel. We are the only country. Think about this one. We're the only country that everything we secure to build, to buy, to have, is based on the lowest bid. Mm-hmm. It's based on the lowest bid. Not the best quality, the lowest bid. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Take a break, pay some bills.
You know,
Hi, my name is Jennifer Nina with My Mortgage Inc., and I am your mortgage pro. I'm originally from Dominican Republic. We speak also Spanish. I've been in the business for about 15 years. I am licensed currently in Florida and Texas. The company is licensed in about 28, 29 states. So I can honestly tell you that I serve all types of clients, from the blue collar to luxury homes. I mean, everybody is a client. There's no exceptions to the rule. If you do not qualify, we'll help you qualify. The favorite part is having the client get the satisfaction of their first home and telling them that they're approved and giving them the keys for them to go in their home. That's the most satisfying part about it. Once again, my name is Jennifer Nina with My Mortgage Pro. Call me now.
Have you found yourself thinking, I need to increase my real estate brand value, start overcoming those limiting beliefs, and truly grow my business? Well, I have some great news for you. The Real ELC is elite real estate training professionals just like you. Whether you're a new agent or a seasoned professional, you can gain access to the wisdom, tips, and insights of a team with decades of real estate, business development, and experience. And you want to know the best part? By receiving training from the Real ELC, you'll become part of the RMG Collective National Real Estate Marketing Platform. Just visit therealelc.com to start growing your real estate business today.
Hi there, I'm Dina Salazar, broker and owner of Platinum One Properties. For the past 20 years, my passion for real estate and strong sense of integrity have been the driving force and key to making real estate dreams come true for our clients. With preferred lenders, builders, and title companies, we are able to provide service beyond your expectations. So if you're in the market to sell, buy, or lease, give us a call today. Platinum One Properties, exceeding expectations and creating the standard in real estate.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Let me ask you something. Are you a real professional seeking to grow your business and add greater value to your career? RMG The Collective is the process that develops new and seasoned brokers and owners. Have you tried figuring out the best ways to market yourself but just haven't been able to break through yet? You're not alone, but I have good news. RMG The Collective offers training programs to help you master the luxury real estate market, grow your income, boost brand awareness, and develop a truly unique brand to help you stand out from the rest. This unparalleled program is endorsed by top luxury brokers and agents nationwide, with 93% of participating agents increasing their income by at least 41%. And you want to know the best part? You can be a member of RMG The Collective no matter where you're located. With agents located all over the U.S., you'll be a part of a strong, supportive community, have constant access to RMG's online proprietary program, work one-on-one with your mentor, receive customized feedback on your marketing and business model, and finally, watch your luxury real estate business take off. Get ready to spend your days helping others achieve their dreams as you achieve yours. RMG The Collective, growth in partnership. Call or email to get started today.
We're back. Bills are paid. And Mac is still here.
And I'm not going anywhere.
He's saying not going anywhere. People,
Not going
you don't
anywhere.
know. Security is outside the door right there. Security is right out the door.
I saw you texting security.
That's right, damn it.
I'm going out the window then.
So this is what you have. Today's been about the mortgage market, housing, the shortage of housing. But things can be done based upon certain motivations. Like right now, it's not being released yet, but the RMG Collective has identified 6 realtors to represent a builder developer's listings and cross market from 6 different brokerages. The builder developer is going to provide these RMG agents with the listings.
Nice.
Because this particular builder developer understands you cannot do it alone. Yes, there's a shortage, so forth and so on, but from a promotional perspective, you have to create business to develop business.
You know,
that's the dynamic.
Yeah, you know, and the beauty of that idea and that concept is that, you know, a lot of builders don't want to pay real estate agents, right?
Exactly.
But hey, maybe what you do is redesign or disrupt your industry.
Yeah, that's
Instead
right.
of instead of
the
having
market.
salespeople, you just
Disrupt
rely
the
on
market.
just let the real estate agents
That's right.
manage
Disrupt the market.
that process, and maybe all you need are superintendents.
Exactly.
Good superintendents.
Yeah,
so.
because at the end of the day, this is a people-driven business. You can go online and research all you want. At the end of the day, personalities are going to come into place. Activities and actions are going to come into place. Mac and Jennifer need to explain the loan process. Dina need to explain the buy-sell process. You have to have individuals in place to do that. And a lot of these builders, who shall remain nameless, who are saying, hey, send me in your bid. No, I am not going to bid against myself, because that's all bidding is bidding against yourself. Okay? Think about this here. At the end of the day, Jennifer and Mac sell the same product. You know, they have non-QM relationships that might be different, but they have the same product if they do VA, USDA, FHA, Fannie Freddie. Okay? So what's going to make you want to work with Mac and Jennifer? Them. Okay? Any title company can close your transaction. What's going to want you to work with a particular title company? The person. Dina, one of the kindest people ever, you are going to work with her because that's what she does. She's a caretaker of her clients. Most agencies are check chasers. She's a caretaker. Personalities matter. And that's the thing that I am seeing over and over and over again. If you don't reinvent yourself or make adjustments in this market, not a volatile market, a violent market, not physically violent, just violent in its aggressiveness now.
Exactly.
You have to make adjustments. You have to adapt. You have to provide resources and access that others don't. Mac has the thing he does. Jennifer has the thing she does. Dina has the thing she does. I have the thing I do. This is what separates us in the marketplace, which is why we can collectively sit on this particular 4-person panel and get things done for you different ways, but getting it done is the end result no matter what. That's what people don't understand in this marketplace. When I'm out fishing for deals for the RMG Collective, it's about, if I take care of them, they take care of me. If Jennifer and Mac provide loans and go to Extra Star like Mac did with the collection items, that is a referral-based situation. Oh, Mac and Jennifer did that for me. Let me tell you, you need help, call Mac and Jennifer. You want representation, buying, selling, leasing, and investing in real estate, call Dina. You want somebody to help you market your listing as a title partner, call EL. That's what we have around this table here, and that's what people need to understand, which is why we're doing the fundraiser tonight. It's more than real estate. It's all about people.
That's right.
And that's our dynamic.
Yeah, and that's the reward, I think, in the end. Not clearly, you know, we want the check to clear, but
Always check clear. I forgot that part.
I think when you work hard and you provide the best service you can to your clients,
yes,
you don't have to worry about the check ever not clearing.
That's
I
true.
mean, you're always going to get referrals. Just
Yeah,
what you put into it.
That's right. I had an agent call me yesterday, and he said, hey, you know, my broker called me and said that you closed 2 loans for him that other people said couldn't be done.
Right.
Yeah. And, you know, and it's nice to know that they know.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes you work your tail off, right, and you get up to the last minute, and you know, and you think people are thinking, well, why is this transaction so hard? Because nobody else was going to do it. That's why it's so hard.
That's right. Do the hard things first. That's what you guys do. We do the hard things first. All right, and I'll give you a perfect example for this week on the closing. One at RMG, Elisa Linton, she had her closing this week. We did a concierge closing. It wasn't even a normal price point, but because the price point she had last year, we didn't close the concierge because of COVID. So I rewarded her by doing it this year on this. So we did a concierge closing, all right? She filmed it. We had champagne delivered, catering delivered. Everybody was out there, stuff like that. But the best part of the closing was the message she said afterwards, and it's some of the things that we say in the RMG training. She says, if you don't have a team that supports you, why are they on your team?
Mm-hmm.
That's the best part of her whole message was, she says, special thanks to the support that I received from E.O. Crane and BRPS Title.
Yep.
They are on my team.
Together, everyone achieves more.
There you go.
Everybody wins, yeah.
Yeah, you got it, and that's the environment that we literally have created here. Everybody wins. There is no, now I want Mac to slip and fall almost most days of the week, but anyway.
You know, and I need to leave before he gets in the car because he might run me over.
Yeah, I hear the wheels peeling out now.
So, you know, if the FBI is waiting on me or you, are they waiting on me or you?
They waiting on you.
Okay.
You know, 'cause I don't look
I'm
good
going to
in
go
orange.
out the window.
I don't look
today.
good in orange. But see, think about this. Mac and I are collaborating right now. He has my classes. He has his marketing platform. And so we're going to start doing classes together. But we are in agreement. We can't be in the room at the same time. Okay?
No.
We can't,
no.
no.
And probably not a good idea for me to intro him and vice versa.
Exactly.
Because we might say things
We're
that,
just going to pass out a brochure introducing
Yeah.
ourselves. But think about it. Philosophies can blend. Presentations can blend. Like when Dina and I were in Florida with Jennifer, who left me at the hotel. I had to fend for myself and find restaurants to eat at. Anyway, okay.
You did?
Yes.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, I had to fend for myself. Talking about, I got children, so. Anyway. So.
And you know what? He's a 6'7" grown man.
Meanwhile, I saw him posting pictures of this massive, luxurious home that he was being entertained at while there.
At my nephew
Was this
house.
somebody you knew?
It's my nephew.
Okay.
Well, still.
He was a relative.
I'm going to use that. She's a relative.
She's a relative. Okay. But think about it. We were down there, and I'll say this 1,000 times. We didn't have the attendance, but we had the impact. We didn't have the attendance, but we had the impact. And what we delivered that day was a sure sign of what collaboration looks like.
Yep.
Completely and totally what collaboration looks like, because it was both informative, and I even have Dahlia. I got a conference call with her whole family. I hope they're not trying to hurt me, because you know they mafia. Anyway, we got but I have a conference call for them because I impacted them with some of the information that I shared with them that they just were not aware of. Because you can't take for granted that people know just because they're a professional or because they have this and they have that. You have to educate everybody that's in front of you, and that's actually what Mac does. He works my nerves because of it, but that's what he does. He educates people who are in front of him.
He does.
That's what he does. He educates. And then Jennifer over in Florida trying to save the world. Well, these people need this, whatever, damn it. But think about those things. Think about those things. Matt, is the list reports?
The list reports. The thing that I think I'm having an enormous impact with right now is Mortgage Coach.
Mortgage,
right?
that's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one. So think about this. Real Estate You Show. Outside of Mac misbehaving every week, this is a pretty good show. We have to put him in restraint sometime.
At least they don't have to beat me sometimes. We have to beep you. Beep. Beep.
That's kind of true.
That's very true. Very true.
You almost had to beat me today, right? You start talking about, messing with my first-time home buyer, single mama, not getting her, not, making homes affordable for her. Man,
right.
I lose my mind.
Yeah. But think about this. We bring all this together in education and effort and opportunity and resources, because our collective resources really cannot be measured by any other.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So this evening we have the second annual RMG fundraiser to benefit Sleep in Heavenly Peace. If Mac shows up in jeans, I'm calling the police. Okay.
I'm coming in jeans.
Okay, yeah. Right. He will not be let into people. He will not be let
it
in.
is at a country club.
It is.
It?
Thank you.
But I'm from
club.
Louisiana, right? We don't do country clubs.
Well,
you know what that means? That means we're going to hang out at the end of the road, and we're going to put the trucks in the circle, and we're going to turn lights on, and it's going to be country club.
Look, you did worse than I did, because I was saying a Louisiana country club.
Do I have to wear a shirt?
Oh God. Yeah, a Louisiana country club is normally Baskin Robbins.
Oh, Lord, have mercy on me.
So we're going to do that tonight. So what you got going on next week, Dina Ramos Salazar?
Just same old thing, working.
Jennifer?
Same thing, saving the world.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Wearing your Supergirl suit.
Mac going to have his cape on. Mac, don't wear your Superman cape tonight either.
He wants to wear that.
Blue tights and a red cape,
baby.
baby.
He's been wanting to buy tights.
Because
a while.
Therapy.
That is what I miss most about being a triathlete, right? Are the tights.
Therapy. Therapy, people. Tonight we're raising funds for Mac's therapy.
Mac, I'm just kidding.
Therapy. So, tell the people bye, people.
Bye, people.
Bye, people.